Hey everybody, welcome to the POS podcast. We started late. Well, I mean, we always start late because I always have to wait for people. But this time it was because of my stupid fucking internet that went off as soon as I went live.
Incredible.
Yeah. So that happened.
Yeah, I know how that feels. I had a few incidents like that.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, we have Animite Matt here as a special guest tonight.
Hey, everybody!
Hey!
Yeah, today I decided to skip my podcast episode for the week, mainly because it really felt like a very dry week in terms of like animation news and stuff. So
Yeah.
I figured to save up for next week instead of forcing out a week episode. So
Right.
at least,
and then we got some really big news today, so we'll talk about that later.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Betcha.
But what have you guys been up to the past couple weeks? Hero, I see you're monster hunting. Even after we watched that movie.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
This really made me want to play some Monster Hunter. Yeah.
Wow.
I went to King's Dominion yesterday, and that was fun.
Oh, really?
We rode the biggest coaster there, and I didn't know actually that riding coasters in the back of the coaster versus the front of the coaster was such a big difference. My friends were telling me yeah, we got to do that. So we did that. And on the biggest coaster, the difference between the back and the front was actually insane. The difference. The front of that coaster, one of my friends blacked out, and I grayed out, which is a term that I just learned of yesterday.
Grayed out.
Yeah, no, that's a thing that people actually say.
I know.
Apparently.
Yeah, where it's you blip in and out.
No, I mean I was getting gray dots in my eyes. It's okay, close to blacking out, but not quite. I was still there. But that was an awesome coaster. It was incredibly intense, and it had an 85-degree drop.
Was it like King to Ka?
King to Ka is nasty, bro.
King to Ka scared me. I'm good with coasters, but I could not do the drop. I remember being in line waiting 2 hours. I was I kept talking in my head I can't do this. I can't do this. I really can't. And then we got to the front. They're sorry, we're closing for the night. And I my uncle's all mad, and I was just oh, thank merciful God.
You're yeah, I'm mad too, Uncle. Yeah, that.
Yeah, I'm mad too.
Oh well, we can't do Kingdom Come.
All right.
We're going on another ride.
Yeah, any other ride, I'm fine on.
King to Ka is I think still the tallest. Oh, I think it's the tallest and second fastest. Yeah, it's the tallest and second fastest on the East Coast, I believe.
Yeah, because it was reaching clouds. That's what I remember visibly. It was something ridiculously stupid high, and I was just I can't do it. Because I can do any coaster. Before I couldn't do loops. I learned how to do loops when I was a teenager, just because I used to get horrified. No, you know what scared me was that fucking Dexter's Lab episode where he's this is the best day of my entire life. That scared the shit out of me as a kid. But yeah.
Luckily, you can't actually even really feel loops. So
yeah, exactly. I thought you would fall out or something like that.
But yeah, that roller coaster was incredible. Wow, I'm getting hit so much. That coaster was awesome. It's Intimidator 305, really freaking fun. And we went on all the other big coasters. I was glad that everyone there wanted to ride coasters. So I was that's what I want to do. Nothing against groups of people that I usually go to amusement parks with. I'm here for any ride. But there's people that don't want to ride super big coasters, which is completely fine. But this entire group wanted to ride huge coasters. I was all right, I will take the opportunity then to ride all of my shit.
I'll go with you on coasters. Every single one of them. But then we're going on the drop zone. Just because
because you know I hate those. That's why.
See, I don't know.
My friends yesterday were you'll go on this coaster, but you won't go on the drop zone. I'm look, I don't know what to tell you. Drop zones are pure terror.
No, you know what's funny to me is I think because I remember one time I went on a drop zone I think like 27 times one day just because I had like a pass. And I think what it was, the first time I didn't want to do it, like I was like, I can't do this because I saw that person get their legs chopped off. I can't do it. I
just can't do it.
I can't do this. And then my friends like got me on, and then like there was this girl I had a crush on in the audience, and she was gonna go on. So I was like, fuck.
Gotta go on it. Oh, I hate situations like that.
Oh, yeah, so I was just like, man, I got to impress her. And so like I went on it, and then I was just like, the first time I was like shook, like horrified, but then afterwards I was like, oh shit, the adrenaline is making me. This is hype, and so like I just did it like yeah.
I remember I had a similar situation that happened to me as well. It was like several years ago. Me and my friends, we were going to our local Six Flags, and there was one ride that was it's like a bit of a smaller version of Kingdom Come. It was called Goliath, and I wanted to go in. Like I never really rode roller coasters before, admittedly, and I decided, oh, why not just try this out. And and also to impress like some of my friends, including one girl that I liked. Like we were going in, and it was like it was like a good few minutes just going up the hill, and I think it was like it was like near the top that like suddenly it realized in my brain like, you know what? This is probably not a good idea. And then following afterwards, like, oh man, it was probably a bit too much. Like the first roller coaster of the day, just going from that massive drop, it was like, it was terrifying.
Right. No, that's so valid. Like this, wait, you know what, Hero? To give you a counter with that thing, there is one thing I just cannot do that like every single person probably can do easily, like even like little toddlers. I cannot do spinning rides. I literally throw up. Like every single time. I can't do any spinning ride. I will throw up. Like I remember, like this happened at Six Flags when I was. It was like after my senior year. I went with my friend. He got us flash passes, and we went on this spinning ride. And I was just like, oh God. And I went to like the bathroom, and I threw up outside the bathroom. And this little like 5-year-old kid's like, gee, mister, are you okay? And I went, and he's like, he ran off. And I remember that so vividly. So I was like, yeah, no more spinning rides, because I like fucking scared that poor little
gee, mister, are you okay? It sounds like something that would happen like in a cartoon movie or something.
No, that's what because this guy was like, the kid, he was just like, are you okay? And that little kid voice, and I'm just like, just ran off. Just ran off.
Honestly, I cannot relate. I'm actually one of the few people that actually do like spinning rides. In fact, I would even go as far and say that I'm probably one of those few people that actually did enjoy Mission Space at Epcot.
That one. I remember hearing from people for that one.
Yeah, like sometimes it could be a little too extreme, but I don't mind the spinning rides. Like sometimes they could be fun, and like it's more my kind of adrenaline.
Yeah, exactly. That's fine. That's good though. Like it's good that you have like something. It's just like that one's the kryptonite area. Everything else are good. Like it's just like I think it would be rare if every single person was like, I can just do every fucking ride, but I'm solid. Like it's good. Like oh man.
Anyways,
Jax, what about
What's the topic again?
Oh, we're just doing introductions. Like
okay.
Jax, what about you? What have you been up to?
I've been working on scripts. I'm filming a video tomorrow, which I'm super excited, which is going to make a lot of people double take on my channel, which I'm super excited to release. Been working on other scripts, helping client stuff. Funny thing today, my clients all on my personal training coaching app, because like what I do is like I check in on my clients like every couple hours, like just to make sure like is everyone doing their workouts for the day, is everyone doing this, and I check in on them. And I went away for like 2 hours to like go get some groceries, and I come back, and like the last thing I remember talking about was like, oh yeah, just do this workout and try this cardio and do this, and they're like, oh yeah, thanks sensei, whatever. And I come back, and the first thing I see is like them talking about washashi. And I'm just like, the fuck? And I'm just like, what the fuck is going on here? And it's just like, I was, because apparently what happened was one of my students was talking about like, I was messing around with this Samsung washer, and then it was like really, like, I wasn't expecting it to be so thick or something like that. Like he said in a way, just like, oh, it's a thick thing. And then someone replied like, I was imagining a washer with legs and a booty. And then that just started like, oh yeah, get that washashi, get that wash. And then they post that person from fucking My Hero Academia, the washing machine hero looking one. And then there was just like then they started talking about other appliances, like get that Vussy. Like, oh man, why'd you have burns on your crotch? Air Frosty. Oh man, why'd you burn your thing? Frostbite. Something like that, the Frosty or something like that. And I come back and I'm like a dad, like, what is going on here? And then all of them are just like, oh dad, we haven't been doing anything. And then I was just like, yeah, be wet though. Yeah, I felt like so proud just for being like that way. So that was fun. And then I caught up on Tuca and Birdie, so it was good. I tweeted, okay. I posted on my Twitter today like their full conversation. So like that was making me laugh though, because I was like, what the fuck are y'all talking about?
That Frost Dusty.
The wash.
Anyway, Matt, what have you been up to?
I've been doing pretty good. I've been working on my the second part of the History of Muppets video. So I got the script done. Now I'm just giving it to my fact checkers to see if everything's all good with it and to make sure that it's all ready for me to record and stuff. And last week I've been doing a couple of acting jobs actually.
Oh, nice! Congrats.
Yeah, thanks. I did a voiceover role for a video game. Can't say what it is yet. A small video game, but still a video game nonetheless. And also, and also I did a backup role for a commercial. And it was surprisingly easy to do because all I did was stay at home.
Nice. Awesome.
So like I've kept myself busy and it's been going pretty well, I must say.
Cool.
Very good. Nice. Congrats on it. Keep getting that success.
As far as thanks, you know.
Oh, no. I was gonna say as far as what I've been up to.
I was about to ask you what you've been doing, Paleo.
Well, I went to the beach with my dad last week. We just went there for a few days. Went to the aquarium there, and then to the
Did you
pier.
see the deep?
We went to the pier that was there.
The harbor or the pier?
No, the pier. Like, I saw Jax on Twitter said like went to the pier today, and he.
That's what my nephew said. Thank you very much.
Yeah, he posted a picture of a harbor. I was like,
that's what my nephew said. My nephew was like same thing. So I'm listening. Okay. But
yeah, we also went to this. We also went to this mini golf place with this old mini golf place that had what called Jurassic Putt, and it had a bunch of like very old, like rundown, like dinosaur statues around the place. There was like one, like there were some signs that had like a bunch of like outdated info or whatever, or stuff that was like straight up wrong. And there was one where it had a pteranodon that was spelled wrong with like. It had an extra.
They're out here doing their best. Paleo's just like, what is that?
But it was like an extra N. But the thing is, there wasn't a statue. There was just a foot. Like, I don't know what happened to the pteranodon. It must have been knocked over or something, or somebody stole it. Yeah.
I sure want a pteranodon skull.
It was like a rundown like mini golf place, but it was fun.
Nice. It would be more fun. Like I can imagine if they just recreate that like little shop like in the Mitchells versus the Machines, like that like with that weird
All right. So we'll get into topics. But before we do, you can ask us questions. You either send in a super chat or ask us on Twitter. Our Twitter handle's right there. Paleo Steno, Jacksblade Fitness, Hirosashi with 2 eyes, and Animat 505.
2 eyes. I hope so.
Or 2 eyes. Hey, I should have just made it 1 eye.
Well, you had it like 1 extra eye because like somebody already had
because
it.
of Maple's story, yeah.
Back in the day. Well, it makes it more unique though with 2 eyes.
Yeah, 2 eyes, so you can see better.
Yeah.
It's just and it's just like kawaii.
Exactly.
Kawaii.
All right. First topic. I guess something that me and Jackson talk about since we've seen all of it. The Boys season 3 wrapped up.
Boys season 3. Yeah, before we went to fight that sea beast, mate.
It's funny, like with Carl Urban, because we'll be talking about the sea beast later. Like when I heard his voice, I was like, wait a minute, I've heard this voice recently.
It's just a Disney Channel butcher. That's why you can say hell and bitch and all that stuff. But yeah, The Boys season 3, fantastic. I'd say some parts at the end, I was like, a bit like wondering how that was gonna go, but overall, like. Anthony Starr is home. He deserves. I don't care, an Oscar. Give him an Oscar for a TV show. Make that like the first in history. Like, he is amazing. Like, he is like uncomfortable. Like
uncomfortably amazing.
No, it's like like legitimately. I don't know how he has such facial control that he can get like such realistic. Like the thing is like. Are you having a good time? Are you angry? Are you gonna rip my head off? It's just like he is so genius at that. Like he is a master of that. And then like he is fantastic. He is legitimately a fantastic actor, and I'd love to see him in more stuff. And then you sort of remember like, oh yeah, he attacked that one guy. So just like it tracks even more for like why he's even more of a villain in this.
Yeah.
But that was great.
Well, we're probably just gonna head right into spoilers.
Sure.
So I'm gonna put a spoiler tag up. So if you don't want to hear spoilers, I'll have it up and you can mute for now. So yeah. I
love the dance battle at the end. It was so
the dance battle. Yeah.
Yeah, it was so 2007. I mean, you had people doing the Soldier Boy. It was fucking nuts. You know, just like...
More 2007. Oh gosh, what is time?
But yeah, like the main character they bring in this season was Soldier Boy.
I'm sorry.
Who was like this hero from the past? They had him as like an American hero or whatever, and that he was
he's such a dick.
Yeah, he's
I can't believe Iroh sang a song for him.
Yeah. Because like there's points where you're like, oh, this guy's like been in like basically a prisoner of
stasis.
A prisoner in stasis in Russia for like decades, and then he comes out and you start to feel a little bad for them, but then he just says something that it's like, oh no.
Yeah, he's a piece of shit. Yeah, I mean, like, because like first off, like I do like he's one of those villains though. That like he's such a piece of shit, but you sort of like him because like there's this one scene where like because he's the reason that Mother Milk's family is dead, and like he killed like them in the past, and then he's like, "You killed my family, you motherfucker!" And he's just like, "Which one?" He's just like, "Do you have any idea how many families I've killed?" It's just like shit. It was like, which one? What's new? Or like the time when he's fighting Homelander, and then like Homelander's just like, "Look. Oh, so you're the old me. Well, guess what? I'm the upgrade." He's just like, "Son, you're wearing a cape. I cannot take you seriously." And he just fucks him up. Fucks him up. That was great. And then it was I loved when the boys got Temp V because like they were able to like get the superpowers, and I love how graphic and realistic. Like I remember me and Paleo watched it at freaking Winnie City the first couple episodes.
Yeah, because it was that Thursday because we thought it was like coming out on Friday, but then it was Friday. Like, Thursday it was like, oh shit, the first three episodes are out, so we would just sat in the hotel room just watching the episodes, and like man, the first episode was painful. It was funny. Like, we saw it and we were like, oh no,
you can't watch Ant-Man the same again. Yeah. And you know the fact that they built that's a set. Like that was a giant thing. That they built that. They built that. Like I looked at the set.
Was it a miniature?
No. Okay. So what happened was they made a giant set of a giant like fucking you know what, and so they had that. And so like the guy when he walks in, it looks more realistic like this. And so like I was just like, oh my god, that makes me laugh so much.
We were just like laughing like so much during that scene because we were like, oh no.
And then he fucking sneezed, and then it was just like, oh god, oh lord, I just that made me. It was one of those pains that like guys feel like when guys see like that area get hurt. It's just like you instinctively feel it, like ooh,
oh yeah.
It's just like oh fuck, oh man. So that was
There's also that scene where like it was between A-Train and Homelander, and we were just completely losing it because we're like, this. Could you imagine if Race came up to Jax and did something like that?
Yeah, he was because he always has that face. Because Homelander has Race's face. Like he literally does. It's just like every time he shows up, he has that smile that he does. He's just like, "Yeah, what you drinking there, buddy? Wow, that sure is yummo." Scrumptious. So like that. It's just like this is Race if he was an evil psychopath. This really is what it is. Oh god. And I thought The Boys is a master of tension because like the thing that it has going for it is they have gone so far off the comics that it's just like, okay, this is its own unique story and it's much better than the comics. Like it is so much better than what they do in the comics.
I'm thinking about like just reading through the comics just so I can see the differences because from
they're terrible.
From what I like the whole thing.
No, it's not good. No, it's like like Garth Ennis is a talented writer at points, but there's like stuff where it's like this just seems like an edgy like middle schooler trying to be like, yeah, so here's some gore for the sake of gore. Here's some essay for the sake of essay, and it's just like for instance, I'll say this to the people in chat. All right, so you remember the whole scene with Deep and Starlight in Ep1? Okay, yeah, that in the comics, no, that is way worse, worse because it's like it basically is not just. I don't even think it is. I think. Wait, I'm trying to remember. It's been a while because I know it's multiple all at the same time, and it's just like this is just unnecessary. This is just like mean spirited for the sake of that. I was just like, ugh. So yeah, it was that. And then like when it gets to the ending, it's just like, like I really hope there's a bunch of stuff they change. Like compared to Invincible, where Invincible it's taking stuff from the comics, but it's modifying it. So it's like doing a soft reboot. Like there's a bunch of stuff like when you read the Invincible comic books and you watch a TV show, you can pick up the beats of that's when that happens, that's when that happens. Oh, they switched up when that happens. Oh, they changed this person's race. Oh, they changed this person's sex. They changed this, whatever. And it's just like, okay. But for the most part, everything is tracking. It's just like he's rewriting it to be better than it was. The only thing that he didn't write better was the Amber situation. But I'm not gonna say anything else on that. But yeah, like with The Boys, I would say the show vastly superior in my opinion. Like it's just like,
okay,
yeah. But like I love the I fucking hate Ryan now. That little Brightburn looking bitch.
You know they're there's one character that was introduced here that people hate even more than like any other.
Oh no, I hate him too.
Yeah, Todd, like the the stepdad of Mother's Milk's daughter.
Kid.
Yeah. Like
it's just like like the thing.
He's a fucking stupid like
No, it's so stupid. Like it's really first off. What the fuck did Mother's Milk wife see in him? He must have really good credit. Like seriously, I don't know what the fuck she saw in him. Like, because there is no way
that credit is off the charts.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah, he has a full paid off mortgage or some shit like that. I guess like that's what did it for her because when I looked at that entire show, I'm like, there is no way this strong black woman will get with this fucking bitch now. Like, I'm sorry.
To play devil's advocate, maybe he wasn't always like that.
He looks like he's always been one of those snivelly, like, I don't see. Like he looks like one of those snivelly motherfuckers that would do that.
Like maybe he was like good with kids, and that's why. And then
he was a teacher.
He just went off the deep end.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I mean, I guess because like that whole thing at the end where Homelander like fucking domes that guy in front of people and they all just start cheering. It's just like he's the first one to be like, yeah, and it's just like, all right, you've got to go.
Yeah,
you've got to go.
There's a lot of people saying like, man, I hope like he actually gets killed by Homelander, and it is like just to be some kind of like poetic justice.
Right. I hope it's like a I know it'll be a fast death too, because like that's the thing with The Boys is like the violence you get so desensitized to it, where it's just like, oh yeah, we just went to a superhero orgy. Half of them got blown to bits, and then this guy's got his like fucking like tentacle dick like this, just like he's dragging it across the street, and it's like, what the fuck is this? It's just like, that's another good thing The Boys is doing. Like they talk about certain social issues, but sometimes they're a bit heavy-handed. Sometimes they're like, okay, that's funny. Like the whole A-Train making fun of that Kardashian commercial with the Pepsi.
Oh yeah, that was great.
He's like, here you go. It's just like, dude, that was funny. Or like when they tried to sing that freaking Gal Gadot fucking song.
Imagine John Lennon. That thing.
Imagine shit, and they were like all singing like their version of that was funny. But like Starlight, bless that woman. Like I feel so bad for her. Like she's just trying so hard.
I'm surprised she like like stayed with like Vought as long as she did. But I mean, I guess it's like she just still felt trapped by it. So
right,
yeah,
right. Yeah, exactly. It's just she felt trapped by it, and then also Black Noir is my favorite character, and they did him. I do not believe he's dead.
Yeah,
I don't.
I don't think he is either. Yeah,
but this is the thing I'm curious about. And I hope it's not, because I'm not going to spoil the comic or anything like that, because this is completely different, because like the whole Black Noir thing in the show is far, far different than it was in the comic. But like the actor who plays Black Noir just in the bodysuit, the director said to him, hey, when they finally show Black Noir's face, I don't think you should show your face, and here's why. And he said, like, all right, we're going to have another actor because this guy's he's going to die. And then what's going to happen next season is we're going to get a new Black Noir. And so you can still be the body, but realistically, it can be anyone in the suit. So it's just like, it's one of those situations where I'm mixed on it, because this Black Noir, what we saw him go through with like the tunes and stuff like that, I was just like, that's really endearing. I want this Black Noir back. But if they're bringing back Black Noir, but it's the same actor who's been in the suit since season 1, then I'm like, okay, but it's just, I hope it works out. I really hope they don't go the comics route with it. That's all I'll say. I really hope they don't go the comics route, because that would be stupid. And I hope I hope the next season is like the last. No, I'll give him like 2 more seasons.
Yeah, I think 2 more would probably be good.
Well, because like the way they're like hyping things up, because like they're at this point now that like in the comics it took like, oh, when Homelander started doing that stuff, it seemed like, oh, okay, that was getting close to like an ending. But like, so I don't know how they're going to do it with season 4. So hopefully season 4 and 5 are good finish. But the finales are always hype. Though I will say I preferred season 2. Also, I thought Maeve was dead as fuck when she got blown up.
Yeah.
I thought she was dead as fuck, and so I'm glad she survived that. Like,
yeah. She got a happy ending. So
she got a happy ending for now.
For now. Yeah.
Yeah, well, like if we go by the pattern, season 1, Homelander won. Season 2, Billy won. Season 3, Homelander won, and then season 4, hopefully the pattern.
Yeah. All right.
Thanks for watching it.
All right. Yeah, spoilers are off. Season 3 of The Boys. It's a great show. It's the best thing on Amazon. So,
Invincible.
I mean, Invincible only has 1 season right now, though.
Oh yeah, I guess you're right. Oh yeah, exactly.
Oh, isn't season 2 coming?
Yeah,
and 3.
Oh, right.
Yeah. All right.
I can't wait for like things.
Next thing, let's talk about Miss Marvel, another much lighter superhero show.
Yeah. It is
only 6 episodes.
I feel bad for it because it was like going on with like the same time as like Obi-Wan too. So it's just like I'm watching either Obi-Wan or that. So like that kind of fucked with its like because people I remember when it first came out, I didn't feel like watching it right after watching Obi-Wan and stuff like that because it's like I got stuff to do. So
yeah, I still haven't watched Obi-Wan because like when we were about to watch Obi-Wan at the convention, like we were like, oh shit, the boys are out, so we watched that instead.
Yeah, you don't need to watch Obi-Wan. Like realistically, you don't need to watch Obi-Wan. You don't need to. I mean, it's just.
I mean, I'm very tired on Star Wars.
Exactly. Don't watch. I'm not watching that fucking Andor show. I do not care for Rogue One. The only thing I liked in Rogue One was the Darth Vader scene. So it's just I don't care about this character.
That's something that's happening with the Marvel stuff right now. Is that there's a lot of fatigue, especially with like how many shows have come out like in the past year.
No, exactly. It's just it's too much. It's like overwhelming. It's just like you have a bit. Again, I use this like euphemism all the time, but like it like works for what I'm saying. It's like if someone gave you a fucking delicious cake, right? And you're like, oh man, I get to eat this. Thanks, right? It's just like, oh, that was good. Well, you want some more? You get to eat all this. It's like, well, I'm full, but I'm good right now. It's like, no, you're gonna sit and you're gonna eat this. And you're not going to leave till you finish this, or else you're not going to be able to understand this. I
think a lot of it has to do with what happened in 2020, where they just didn't have anything for that year. And it was like, oh, that's very weird because like not a lot of people had stuff to put out that year because of the pandemic. So they just blew it out all at once. It was like they were just holding it in.
It's funny when you think back to it now, because it's just like 2020 felt like forever, but then we're past it. It's like a blip, and now this year is like halfway over, and it's like, wow, where'd this year go? So it's just like it's fucking nuts. But with Miss Marvel, I'll say this. I'll start with the positives. I think the actress fucking nails it. I love the fact she's a genuine nerd. Like she knows all this stuff.
I saw the couple of things you retweeted of her like geeking out about like some of the Marvel stuff.
Yeah, I think she's phenomenal. She nailed it. I love the family stuff. I think the family stuff is great. I loved how it's showing like all the what people who are Middle Eastern or Pakistan they do in their personal life. I think that was great. I love I think her family is great to watch. I liked little Easter eggs and stuff like that with the fruit pie stuff like that. And I thought I enjoyed her a lot. Again, I've been sticking with this. The thing I do not like is first off the power change, because it plays an integral part to her origin in the comics. And I understand that, if you make someone stretchy, it doesn't look right in live action. I get that. But her powers are more than just stretching. Like she can shape shift, she can turn into a giant, she can do like a ton of crazy awesome stuff, right? And the fact that they changed it to just this like Green Lantern thing just didn't hit right, because it's sort of like switching, even though we just saw Reed Richards recently, it's sort of like switching Reed Richards powers with Sue Storms or Green Lanterns, and it's just like, why would you do that? And like it's just like, because of this, and it's just like I didn't care for that. Also, didn't care for the villains at all. The villains were so forgettable.
Yeah, they were I was just very weak.
They were very weak because like they were so like I don't know who the fuck these are. Like honestly, the best villain we've had so far in Phase 4 is fucking Green Goblin, and he's not even technically an MCU villain. It's just like he's the best one bar none so far, and like it's just so much of this stuff where like there's so much interesting stuff that went on with her origin in the comic books that I'm like, this would be so much more interesting than this freaking genie storyline you're trying to pull. Like that's what this is. And then the thing at the end where they tried to be like, so guess what? It seems you're not just special because of this bracelet. I checked your DNA, and it seems like there's a mutation. And they play that fucking thing. I'm like, for fuck's sake. That is so. First off, there's a difference between Inhumans and mutants, and I'm pretty sure like Amon of a lot, she probably like went to Kim Feige like, this is not what happened in the comics, something like that. She's like, just go with it right now. So I am so sure she did, but it's just like it was. There's certain little things where I'm just like I think I'm okay with them changing certain stuff for like live action. Like for example, you couldn't have Thanos killing out half the universe just because he wants to bone a skeleton. Like you couldn't do that. Like that would be stupid. So like you changing his like thing makes sense. You couldn't have you couldn't have fucking Bucky be a little boy who looks like Robin in Speedos hanging out with Captain America back before. Like so you couldn't do that. Like it just wouldn't look right. And so like there are certain changes I welcome, but then there are other changes, like a big one they did recently, what Marvel will probably fix soon, is like, like Taskmaster and Black Widow. Like that was just that was bullshit what they did to Taskmaster, or like what they're doing with Miss Marvel right now. I'm just like, I think there's so much stuff where it's like you could have done that better. You could have done that better. So it's just like I didn't hate the show, but I definitely didn't like it. I loved her performance, and I think she will be a master and she'll be great to see again. But everything else, powers, all that stuff, I just thought was eh.
One thing go ahead.
So sorry, you could go.
I was gonna say one thing I liked about the show, at least for the first 2 episodes, is how they were doing a lot of the stuff with like the backgrounds and doing like these like little weird like graphic design stuff with with like Kamala's like imagination and everything, and then it just kind of stops. Like for the after like episode 3, like or it happens a lot less, and I'm like, why did it stop? Like, because like that was a very unique like look to the show, and then they just kind of stopped doing it, which I found disappointing.
Right. No, yeah, exactly. Stop doing it. Like that's one of the best things of the fucking Spider-Man movies is the end credit scenes is like them doing that. And so it's just like I wish they would have kept it. They had it in like Ep 1, Ep 2, and then the last episode. And then it was just like, oh yeah, we're not doing it anymore. So I thought that was sad.
One thing that I want to know, and just to go back into the topic about like Marvel fatigue and stuff like that, like one thing that like even though I don't necessarily follow the MCU as much, but I have seen people suggesting this regarding why there is so much of a fatigue with the MCU right now. Um, is there even a point with Phase 4 about why everything connects all together? Like, what is the purpose or what is the main goal of Phase 4? Why is it that all these movies and like why
that's the big problem is that there's not really a main goal right now.
Yeah, I mean, like literally, it's so easy. Like so many people have brought this out. Like several different like reviewers I've seen have brought this up too, where it's just like you could have like hinted if you wanted to do this, you could have hinted early on, like, oh, Doom. Oh, Galactus. Like those are like your next big bads if you want to do an overarching story type thing. Because like right now, I understand the puzzle pieces are being played, but like the thing with people is sometimes, and I'm not saying this, I'm including myself into this. Like sometimes we like the guidance of just like, okay, we're seeing these puzzle pieces and we know eventually they're all going to come together and stuff like that. But we like the little trails of just like this and that. Like for instance, even though the first, I'll say this, Iron Man 1, because it was the start of MCU, it was leading up to Avengers. Like that was the thing that tracked at the end. Oh, we're leading up to the Avengers and stuff like that at the very end of the movie. Even Incredible Hulk was like, we're leading up to Avengers, incredible movie. So everything is leading up to Avengers. You get to Avengers, boom, Avengers has a movie, and then that leads up to Thanos, and then the rest of the franchise is leading up to Thanos, and then that paid off over a decade. Okay, with this one now, we know they're like leaning up to like Young Avengers and all these other like superhero teams, and then like with the characters they're introducing, but it doesn't feel as ground like for instance like Eternals. Eternals is just like there's characters in that are like very popular. I don't read that many Eternals comic books and I do not care for that movie at all, so I'm not even gonna pretend I like it. But like it's just there's stuff in that where it's just like who, why, what, like it doesn't make you excited. Like there's nothing like that.
The stinger for that movie was like who,
what, yeah, who. Like, I remember there were some times where I was just like, shit, because I remember Doctor Strange was like, oh, that's his wife. Yeah, like that's his girlfriend, like his other wife from that. So that makes sense. But then like with like that, I'm just like, oh, okay. All right. And then like the whole thing with the sword, I'm just like, oh, that's fascinating. Cool. And so like, there's so much of that stuff where it's just like, if you gave a hint, and now I know they had leaks come out, which I'm not sure if they're canon or not, whatever, but they're like saying that at the end of like Wakanda Forever, Doom might possibly make an appearance. And then if that happens, then that could lead into Secret Wars. And then the Secret Wars, they want to do something from rumors I've heard is just they want to do something where like so many different universes come in with the multiverse stuff. And it's like, okay, if you want to do something with Toby and Andrew again, I'm down. Like I'm happy just to see those guys anytime. But if you're just trying to do some random shit, like I can't. Because I remember a lot of people thought going into Multiverse of Madness that you were going to see like Wesley Snipes Blade and Eric Bana Hulk, and then freaking like Ben Affleck Daredevil shit like that. So like there's a bunch of stuff, but yeah.
There is one rumor that I did hear actually that apparently the big thing that they want to lead up to is an adaptation of World War Hulk, where they really want to play up with Hulk's character and try to like really emphasize that, where now Bruce Banner could be the main villain of Phase 4. Like again, those are just rumors according to like some leaks that have been said, but I don't know if they're true, but that's like one option they say could happen.
I think they should have done that before.
They should have done that like way before. Yeah. Because like with the Bruce Banner we have now, it's like he's like chill.
I cannot see this dude taking that. Yeah.
It's like, just unless something like crazy happens in She-Hulk.
Or yeah, because like
yeah.
he does have like multiple personalities in there. Like the Gray Hulk is completely like Joe Fixit. That's a different personality for him. So if one of those personality comes out, but then that's not World War Hulk. Like I'm very curious if they're ever going to do Sentry, and that's just the Marvel version of Superman, who's just is very like he has mental health issues as well, like Moon Knight. So I'm very curious why they haven't done anything with him yet. I guess it's because he's too dark in certain areas. So I don't know.
But yeah, we'll see where things lead. What is the next show that comes out?
She-Hulk, right?
She-Hulk.
Yeah,
Yeah.
She-Hulk is going to be in mid-August, I believe.
Okay, so that's next month.
Yeah.
Oh, that soon? Damn.
Yeah. This year's going fast.
All right. But yeah, Miss Marvel. Watch it or don't. Like, if you're into the MCU stuff, I guess watch it. I mean, because like she's gonna be in the Marvels, so
yeah.
Exactly. That comes out next year. All right. Next, let's talk about another Marvel thing. Thor: Love and Thunder.
Yeah, Thor: Love and Thunder. I have his jacket.
So, one thing I thought about like when I was going into this movie is how a lot of people were being like really harsh on it. So much so that they were like saying like, oh man, the first two Thor movies are way better than this. Like, and I'm like, really, Dark World?
I mean, like, see, Thor. Yeah, because I'll say that about it. Like, I do. It is so weird going back rewatching those and seeing Thor be like more serious, and it's just like, my brother, come on, and they're like Shakespearean and how they act, and it's just like I love himbo Thor, but there are aspects of Thor from 2011 that I'm like, I kind of miss this one. Like I kind of do that, and then
I do like the first Thor movie. But then,
the first Thor movie is pretty good.
Yeah, but then when we get the Dark World, it's like, oh
yeah, no. Exactly. The only thing good about Dark World is like Thor himself and Loki. Like that's literally the only good thing about it. And then I would say like best Thor overall is just Infinity War Thor. Like I think that was just the best version of Thor we've ever had. But I think Thor: Love and Thunder. I've said this several times. I think it's like it was. I love Jane Foster. I love Valkyrie. I thought the comedy was like all okay in a lot of places. I did make me laugh in some places. Some places made me laugh hard.
We'll also get into spoilers and stuff after you go on.
Oh yeah. I'm not going to spoil anything. Yeah. I do, however, in my opinion, do think that the movie does suffer from trying to be too comedic when certain scenes didn't hit. So, for example, there are certain scenes where it's just like, all right, this is really dark and dramatic, and then like the tone shift, they're clashing right now. And it's just like, all right, can you just chill for a second? It's just like, okay, this is a very serious thing. I don't want a joke right after this. And like, I think that's what makes some of the best MCU films work so well. Like, for instance, Winter Soldier. Winter Soldier is like this, where it has like, it's a solid movie, and it has comedy, but it doesn't. The comedy doesn't overstep the serious scenes.
All the Captain America films are like that.
Yeah, exactly. Civil War, like that too. It's just like all those films are like that. This film with its comedy issues, like it's just like, okay, that's good. I think it works in some areas, but in other areas, I'm just like, all right, chill, just chill for a second. No, just hold on for a second. This is a serious moment. Just like chill for a second. This joke, not right now. And it just that kept happening throughout the film that I was feeling. And then also Gore the God Butcher. Christian Bale is a phenomenal actor, but they did not do Gore justice like is in the comic books, where he is like legitimately threatening. And this would have been a perfect time for them to lead up to Null, because that was like a weapon of Null that he has and stuff like that. And I was just like, but I'm not sure if they're going to do that, even though they got the Venom symbiote in the MCU now. So I'm just like, I'm there. And Null is like the god of symbiotes too. So like, that's the weapon. I was just like, oh man, this would have been so dope. Like, and you shouldn't have had Gore just killing people for weeks. Like, it should have been like months. It should have been like for years. Like, it should have been like, no, that guy, Gore the God Butcher, you do not want to mess with. He has been destroying gods for like eons at this point. You do not want to mess with him. Like, that just would make him more intimidating, and then do all this other stuff. But like, it was just, oh yeah, this guy escaped, he's doing this, blah blah blah, and then you barely see it. Like, there's only like a couple scenes where we see the aftermath, but we don't see him doing it, so it doesn't add to it. Like, it didn't add that much to it. So
Yeah. But yeah, I guess we'll go into spoilers because there's a lot of stuff I want to talk about that does involve spoilers. So
Mm.
you don't want to hear them, mute the stream now, and I'll take it off, and then you can unmute.
Take it off, and then you're gonna mute. Take it off.
So yeah, with this, with the whole gore thing, because I didn't know anything about like gore or the that sword. But the Jane Foster storyline with her, I didn't know that like that whole storyline involved her getting cancer.
Oh yeah, that's why she got it in the first place.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't know that like that's how that happened.
Yeah. It was the thing is like she's around though too. She like also well, since we're in spoilers now, they'll probably bring her back in eventually or something like that. But like I'm surprised they like full on killed her off at the end because like her and Falcon get busy. So I was just like, okay. I was like, I wanted to see some chocolate vanilla swirl action. That's all I'm saying. And so like, but no, yeah, I loved that they had the Jane Foster thing. I thought that was all cool. I was broken to find out that some of the muscle on her was CGI, and I was just like, oh no, I thought you worked out, man. But I understand it would take a lot, but still, it was just like, But even I heard some scenes they even did that with Hemsworth, even though he's like super pumped up too because he's been working out. But like, it's fine. It's like it's just like, hey, do what you want. He still looks great in real life, so I'm not even gonna say anything. But yeah, I loved her entire storyline. I like how they were being more open about Valkyrie like having a girlfriend or like it's just being bisexual. I like that. The thing with Korg, I like Korg. Sometimes he was doing a bit like the comedy was just like being
the too comedic thing with him. Yeah, I noticed that.
Right.
Oh yeah, another thing, the fucking goats.
Right,
man.
The goats, like they made me laugh at times. The
whole screaming goat thing, I stopped being funny like 5 years
in 2011.
Yeah, like
yeah, 2011. Yeah, no, it's just some aspects were funny of those, but some episodes were yeah. And then what was it? The whole thing with like the Thor ending with like where he's like taking care of like Gore's daughter now. I was like, yeah, I mean, it's interesting. Like, I wonder if when he's gonna come back and stuff like that. Is that like gonna be a continuous thing? Is she just gonna come and go or something like that? Because like I think if I don't know if this is true or not, but I remember seeing a set pic. I think the actress who plays Gore's daughter is actually Chris Hemsworth's daughter. So
really,
yeah. So like that, she could probably like do more MCU stuff with him if she wanted to. But I thought that was interesting. The Zeus thing that made me laugh, where like he was just the way he was talking and stuff like that. But then like there are aspects to Zeus as a character where I'm like, oh man, Russell Crowe, you should have brought over some of that freaking Jor-El speech you had in Man of Steel to this role. Like, because I like that it was like comedic, but also part of me was just like, oh man, I wish this would have been a bit more serious. And then at the end when Hercules shows up, I'm like, yo, shit, they got Hercules finally. Because like that'll be a big deal when he shows up and starts whooping people's ass. And overall, I mean, I like this scene where like Thor gives the kids like powers and stuff like that, and they start whooping ass. Like that was funny. And then
I like when he does it like for a limited time only.
Yeah, for a limited time only. Yeah, because he's just like, you ain't keeping the shit. But yeah, like that was, I like some of those scenes, but like yeah, I really do think there has to be a balance act between comedy and this. And then like on Double Toasted, they were talking about like how the more serious Marvel movies work better like that, where it's like the comedy is in there, but you see that this can like play as like very straight in certain areas. It's just like this is going. So I think that would have saved the movie.
Yeah, well, it's weird. It was like because like when he's with the Guardians of the Galaxy in the beginning, it was like the Guardians seem like the straight man in in that aspect compared to Thor. It was like, wait, I thought the Guardians were supposed to be the funny ones. And like,
right. And then it was just like, because it's funny when they mention it's just like, you have a freaking nuke on your team, like Thor. Like, you see, if Thor can fuck up Thanos, then yeah, like, most of these villains they're fighting are not going to be a challenge to him at all. So it's just like, this is crazy. It was like,
they left because, like, Thor just became annoying. Like,
yeah, right. They were just like, let's get the fuck out of here. I love how Nebula was like, get on the fucking thing. Let's go. Oh god.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't think there's anything else spoiler wise.
Yeah, no. I thought it was I think it's a fun movie. I would say it's my second favorite of the Phase 4 movies, but like I still see a lot of faults in it personally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, Thor: Love and Thunder. It was pretty good. It's not as good. It's definitely not as good as Ragnarok though.
No, yeah, Ragnarok's like the best.
Yeah, I guess we'll move on to the Sea Beast.
The scary movie.
It's not that scary. Don't worry.
Yeah, dude, it is.
Jackson's being hyperbolic.
Dude,
it ain't that
fucking
scary.
scene where that fucking thing was staring up at her. Dude, if you were in the like, imagine when you were like almost drowned that day, Hero, and you saw that shit in the ocean. Like right under.
Imagine you lived in an animated movie. I was like, all right, I can tell you like 50 of them that are terrifying.
Yeah, see, I would. Well, honestly, because I think of this, like watching the Sea Beast, because whenever we watch, okay, so chat, I have this thing, whenever we watch these like monster movies or stuff like that, like as Paleo can attest to, I always go like, why the fuck would you eat that? That's like eating a fucking Cheerio by itself. It's just like, it's not even worth it. And like, you see how big Red is, the Sea Beast, and it's just like, you really want 2 crumbs of food? Like, what the fuck is this? Like it's literally the equivalent of, oh my god, I have some freaking I have half a Cheerio in this bowl and it's like moving right in front of me. Do I want to eat it? Am I really that hungry? Is it going to do anything? No, I'm just being a dick. I'm just going to eat it. And it's just like, that's how I feel with a lot of these movies.
Like, the thing is, like, the whole thing with the Sea Beast is that, like, there's just been this, like, hundreds of years of, like, these humans attacking these animals, and they just fight back. I mean, it's clearly an allegory for whaling. Like,
yeah, it is.
Like,
yeah.
Because like that's what happened for hundreds of years. Like people hunted whales, they fought back, and then like afterwards, then like, oh wait, these animals are actually very intelligent after we study them. Like,
yeah. There's like then that white motherfucker, like he got all obsessed and took that guy's leg off, and it was crazy, man. They just had a beef for years.
And that is
I know, man. That shit was crazy, bruh.
Yeah, which actually is based off of a documentary. It's based off of a real story. So
exactly, of a white whale.
Well, not a white whale, just like a really infamous one. Like I forgot the name.
It was a giant beluga whale, Paleo.
No, I know
it was a whale.
Haven't you seen that movie starring Chris Hemsworth? Speaking.
Yeah. That's the actual story it's based on. Is like in the Heart of the Sea. It's based on that ship.
Wait, what happened?
Like,
wait, what is this?
You know that movie In the Heart of the Sea, with Chris Hemsworth, like.
Oh wait, is that the one with Tom Holland as well?
I think he's in it too. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember that. That was like the
because
Moby Dick.
The whale destroys the ship and then they're stranded out in the ocean. Like that's like the actual story. That's the actual story that happened in real life that inspired Moby Dick.
Did the whale eat them?
No, no, it just destroyed the ship, left them for dead. And,
okay, shit.
Because that's what would happen is like if a whale would attack a ship and destroy the ship, like those sailors are just stranded, like, and they just have to resort to cannibalism.
I simply would just shit in its mouth and throw in its eye and gouge it. So I'm good. I don't care. Okay. I wish a motherfucker whale would try me.
It's not gonna eat you. It's just gonna leave you out in the middle of the ocean where you can't go to anywhere.
Yeah, exactly.
Didn't you literally Didn't you literally just said that compared to these giant creatures that you're nothing but a Cheerio?
Yeah, it ain't gonna
What
do
do you think a little
shit to
Cheerio crap is gonna do to it? Is he?
It's gonna make it be like, what the fuck is it? Like, have you ever eaten the stink bug? It's like that. Like, you know, and like, it's ignore me. All right. So, anyways, the CBs.
Yeah,
the
CBs that Jen mentioned, he was like, I don't think I've ever heard of this. Wasn't the marketing for this movie just like horrific? Like,
yeah,
it was horrific if you didn't have Netflix.
Yeah,
because
if you didn't have Netflix, like you haven't seen anything about it. Because like it was like #1 movie on Netflix like over the weekend.
Yeah.
But like as far as like outside of people who have Netflix, like they don't know about it at all because like there hasn't been like any advertising for it. I haven't seen it anywhere.
Well, I mean, to be fair, it's Netflix. They are never known for good marketing.
Right.
Right.
Especially for their animated contents. It's like, especially when often they don't even announce things until a month before its release.
Yeah, which is very strange for this movie because isn't this like one of the first like in-house Netflix animated movies?
Not really, because I think the animation here is actually done by Sony Pictures Imageworks. Like
really?
It's kind of like the same thing that they did with Over the Moon.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Oh, yeah. I see here. Yeah, Sony Pictures Imageworks. Okay. Yeah, because it says like under production companies, there's like Netflix Animation and Sony Pictures Imageworks. So I guess they just have like Sony help them with that. But as far as the movie itself goes, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was very very surprising. And the way that the plot unfolded because like. You see Captain Crow, and
Carl. You about to say Captain Crunch.
Captain Crunch. Yeah.
Yeah, you see Captain Crow and Jacob. Like in the beginning of the movie, you see like Jacob as a boy, and he's like saved by Captain Crow, and he like grows up and
becomes Carl Urban.
Becomes Carl Urban.
Butcher. Billy Butcher.
But like once I saw Captain Crow, I was like. Is he going to end up being like the villain? Which he sort of, but not really.
But you understand where he's coming from. Like it's not like that. I would say what's good about this movie is like everyone acts in a sort of realistic way for what they're trying to accomplish. It's not like he just immediately goes, "I'm evil and I have to do this." It's just like, oh, that makes sense. That tracks for him.
Yeah, like he goes in the full on Captain Ahab mode.
Right.
Right. But like you kind of understand why, because he thinks his freaking kid got fucking ate, and so I was like, bro, you just took someone I saved and looked at like a son. So I was like,
I didn't really like the first 30 minutes of the movie or whatever. It wasn't like wowing me or anything. I was like, this is here, and it looks like kind of nice. But like after the movie took a twist, a tiny twist, but a twist I wasn't expecting. I was like, oh, this is. What this movie is actually kind of about. It's not so much about just like, pirates, we're the pirates, we do the pirate stuff, right? Like I was like, oh, okay, this is and like we hunt monsters or whatever. It took a turn that I wasn't expecting, and the rest of the movie is kind of like a more relaxed, if you will, kind of deal.
Yeah,
I appreciated that. I was like, oh, this is more interesting because I thought I knew exactly where the movie was going. I was like, oh, okay, actually,
I love
when.
Sorry to interrupt, but
no, go ahead.
Honestly, I'm a little bit of the opposite, where I was really enjoying the first half of the movie, where it really is like taking the best parts of How to Train Your Dragon, but updating it with pirates and sea monsters. And like they were really nailing the action, and like I was really invested with like all the battles that they were doing and all the creative sea monsters that they were going. But then when that little twist was revealed, like when you enter into the second half, that's when I was like, oh, we're going in that direction. Oh boy, here we go again. Because
like I've seen this before.
Yeah, it started to really feel like not only really copying How to Train Your Dragon, but it was also going into the King Kong route. Where like now suddenly your perspective of the monster like suddenly completely changes, and like now you have like all the other characters in which they kind of switch roles. It's very like I feel like it's starting to be a little bit of a cliche when it comes to these giant monster movies, where like you want to switch the perspective of how you view these creatures. Like it's not completely straightforward.
Unless it's Rumble and you just have them fight each other.
Yeah.
that movie.
Exactly,
Right.
but I still love all the other parts, like especially like with the animation is like the animation is phenomenal,
Oh,
but
yeah.
also like the character of Captain Crow is extremely fascinating, especially with his like like how you see his desperation to capture Red like just build up so much down to the point where like he used to be so honorable with the Pirates Code, and then suddenly like there was just a moment where he just explodes. It's like, I forget the code, and by thunder, I will capture that beast no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
and then,
there's
like
like scenes with him where I'm like, is this an animated movie? Like
yeah, he's really good. Like the acting in this is like super legit. Like there are some parts where it's just like this could just be live action or the way they're acting. Like they're not overly doing it in some places. And like us, the only unbelievable thing about this movie is that woman, that little girl with the black hair, was able to maintain that shit. It's a fellow black man. And it's just like there is no way you could maintain that hair without products that nicely by your and those times. It's just like absolutely the fuck not. Absolutely,
getting like dragged through the water and shit. That's like inside a beast. It's like, girl, no.
No.
Yeah, and it's funny to mention too because like the animation actually is like it's funny how it is actually directed by Chris Williams, who previously did like Big Hero 6. He helped with Moana and other stuff at Disney, because like the animation feels very much like today's Disney, where it's not necessarily emphasizing the cartoon aspect, but it feels very grounded in reality, where it's really the subtlety of the realism of the characters' movements, where you see a lot of the emotion of the characters and what really sells the animation in a way.
Yeah, the water's really good too.
Yeah, I was gonna bring up that that scene with Captain Crow talking to Jacob after he
saves him
after they meet up again.
Yeah.
And where like Captain Crow's like, if we were born to fight, then by God, let's fight. Like the animation during that, like that voice acting, like is like, whoa. Like
it's
I haven't seen like a character move like that, like in a non-Disney movie before.
And also the voice. I just remember that line specifically. Like, if we wanted to fight, then by God, like I can't do it. I can't do it justice. But I was like, that was believable as shit.
Yeah,
that voicing was nuts.
Yeah, the voice acting in this movie is top tier, like some of the best. Like it just felt very natural. Like it didn't feel like
there are points where like when Carl Urban's talking, I was like, I just hear Butcher right now.
Yeah, it is Butcher. Look at it, you stupid old red cunt. Like, what are you talking?
But yeah, overall, I thought it was a fun movie. I enjoyed myself. I like to Matt's credit. Although I was like wrong on my first prediction of where the movie was going, once it had that little twist, and I saw like 2 minutes of the movie, I was like, I know exactly what's going to happen.
Right.
Now. Like the rest of the entire
I was
movie.
like, I've seen How to Train Your Dragon. Like,
right.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah, it was good. It was good. Scary. No, I would say like, if you have thalassophobia, this movie will.
Oh yeah, like I'm very
Yeah.
surprised like how well they were able to like make those scenes look. I'm like especially that one where like Red's like looking at them in the water.
That
She
fucked me
just
up.
disappears. It's like, oh Jesus.
No, yeah, that shit is like because the thing is, it's not even scary. Like Red, once you see her, she's chill. She's just like a big red toothless. She's just like big red toothless who's a whale who moves like a seal on land and stuff like that. So it's just like she's not a terror. It's just when they're in water and then the little girl, she like points like there's something looking at us, and then you just see Red, like you see how small they are and how big that is, and then you just see her like slowly move back in, her face like slowly goes up. That fucked me up. Like there's a certain like thalassophobia thing that just kicks in. It's like, okay, my heart, it feels weird during this. It's just like what's oh god.
Yeah, I honestly, this is going to be it's going to be a pretty hot take, but honestly, my feelings for the Sea Beast is pretty much, I'd say it's like on par with Lightyear. And keep in mind, I actually did enjoy Lightyear. The script, it's not great, and it does feel a bit problematic with the way that it was written. but still, it is a solid film for what it is. The action is definitely a lot of fun. The animation is beautiful. So overall, it's a well-made film.
Yeah, exactly. Very well made. Very well made.
Yeah. I'll say I probably do like it a lot more. Just because of bias. Because you know, sea creatures.
Okay, this or How to Train Your Dragon 3.
Oh, dang!
That's a How to Train Your Dragon for me.
Okay.
I've only seen How to Train Your Dragon 3 like a couple times. Because like I recently watched the first two. I rewatched the first two.
First two are great in my opinion.
And I was like, oh, these are still really
Second
great
is
movies.
the masterpiece. I love that one.
Yeah,
but I have. It's been a long time since I've seen the third one, so I'd have to rewatch it.
I remember the third one made me cry at the end, but that was it. But I don't remember anything else of the movie. I literally, I can't. I remember there was like a white dragon, and then that was.
Yeah.
I do not remember who the villain was.
I just remember 3 just being kind of a little bit of a retread of the second one.
Okay.
With how it's plot like unveiled.
Is that just the thing with DreamWorks that their like second movies are always superior?
They're gonna be no, because I think How to Train Your Dragon 1 is the better of the first.
Really?
Yeah. After I saw the second one, I was like, oh wow, this is like way better than the first one. But then like over the years, I'm just like, I just really like the first one a lot.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's because like it's like that. I was like that way with Kung Fu Panda for a while because I like Tai Lung as a villain way more than I like Shen. Just because I think Tai Lung's just more of a badass.
Really?
I think Tai Lung, like to me, Tai Lung whooping everyone with his body by himself when he escaped, that outclassed anything of like, I'm Shen, here's a fucking gun. Like, so like, yeah, bitch ass.
But Shen was, Tai Lung was more like physically menacing, but
I like that.
Yeah.
I think Shen was like, you know, he played the mind game.
Shen is like a different breed of a villain compared to Lord Shen.
Right. No, yeah, because like Tai Lung was very much like, I should have been the special one. You made me believe that I could have been, and then when I wasn't, you just sort of like were like, oh, I guess you're not. And so like like you sort of like see what he said. Shen was just like Shen pulled a Frieza where he was just like, I don't want any of these things to overwhelm me, so I'm going to kill them all off. And then it's just like he ended up fucking himself up. But I think it really is what like Matt said with like the physicality of like I like villains who like if we go throw hands with each other, I'm whooping your ass. It's like, I don't need any weapons. I can fold you or some shit like that. And then that's how he was till he met Poe. And then like with freaking Shen, it was like, he could still whoop your ass. It was like, oh, fuck it. Gun. Bam. Bam. It's just like, okay.
But yeah, the Sea Beast, I think I do like it better than How to Train Your Dragon 3, but I'd have to rewatch it again. But I do like the first two How to Train Your Dragons better than this.
Haven't you watched it twice already?
What? The Sea Beast? No.
You watched the third one twice.
How to Train.
Oh, How to Train Your Dragon. I was like,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah, How to Train Your Dragon 3. I haven't seen in a long time.
I was like, you watched it twice.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Anyway, let's move on to some trailers and stuff. And the first thing is something good that Jax can talk about a lot, and that is Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the movie coming out.
Rise of TMNT.
It looks so good. Oh my god,
it was fantastic.
Even for someone who's not familiar with the show, I gotta say, like, it amazed me. Like, it was, it looked like I'm kind of surprised. Like, it even is just getting released on Netflix. It looks good enough for the big screen.
For the big screen, it does. Like, legit,
no, it does.
I don't know anything about TMNT either, but like as a non-TMNT person, I'm just like, look at it. It has so many dislikes too. I'm just like, but why?
No, you know the reason why? The only reason it has so many fucking dislikes, and this is something, I'm just gonna make this like a little PSA to the TMNT. I know this won't ever get whatever. If they listen, some may. Ever since I did my TMNT video, like I'll go on the comments and there's a bunch of people who dunk on Rise still, just like they just look stupid and blah 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 and all this shit. It's like Teen Titans Go and all this shit. Like this is the issue I have with people who say this, right? So the TMNT Rise of TMNT is its own thing, and it was like it's comedic. I'll give it this. All right, if you are a fan of the standard type of TMNT, then it's like, yeah, this probably is going to be more off-putting to you because it's highly focused on the comedy. It's more of that stuff like so for me, what I found is a lot of people who are just animation cartoon fans in general, they like Rise a lot because they're just like, I haven't watched the other TMNT shows, so I just enjoy this because as a cartoon itself, because it's comedic, it's funny, the action is really hype. So it's like, that's dope. That's really dope. The people who are TMNT fans are used to either their nostalgia goggles affecting them to say, oh, the 80 series is the best, which is not, or the 2003 series is the best, which I will say for the first 5 seasons, the TMNT 2003 show is the best TMNT show for those 5 seasons until Fast Forward and Back to the Sewers. And then 2012 was a good show that got better, so I would say it's better overall. But like the thing with Rise, and what I love about this trailer is it's taking place completely after the last episode, and the last episode was hype. And like Rise, like did that thing where it was all goofy, but then like the storyline started like getting those threads, and then it started continuing. And I love that. And I was like, oh, this is freaking fantastic! I cannot wait to see like what they do in the movie. And the fact that this movie is going to do that is just fucking beautiful. Like the fact they led up to these characters is just beautiful. So let me go to the thing I was saying with the people who complain about Rise. All right, so they are talking about it as if it replaced the TMNT shows prior to it. No, it did not. All right, so here's the thing. Those TMNT shows ran their course and ended. They were not canceled like Spectacular Spider-Man with Ultimate Drake Bell or freaking Thundercats 2011 and Thundercats Roar. That did not happen. There was 193 episodes in TMNT 1987, all right? 193 episodes that you can go back and rewatch anytime. There was 155 episodes of all of TMNT 2003. Told the entire story. You can rewatch it literally anytime. And there was 124 episodes in all of TMNT 2012. Told its story, move on. It ran its course. All of those series ran their course. So this is not replacing those shows. It's just a different version. You can go back and rewatch those shows any single time. It's not a spit on the name as some people are making it seem like. It's just absolutely ridiculous as some people are talking about it like it's like, oh, it replaces. Like, no, you can go rewatch a full entire story of that any freaking time. This is just trying to be its own thing. I will say, I do understand the skepticism at first, because first it was like, oh, they changed their weapons. Raphael was the leader, but then he didn't become the leader because they switched out with Leonardo just for a one-off joke. But then that's going to be the premise of this entire movie. So I'm like, okay, that's cool. The way Leo acts is completely different from any version of Leonardo we've ever seen in any previous media. So it's like, that's off-putting to people. The fact that like they made April into like a spunky black girl or like anything like that. There's so many different things that like can put you off. And then like Casey Jones, who's in this movie now, the trailer, they're showing like, oh, they actually changed it. Like in the show, Casey Jones, they did this joke for like, oh, this character called Foot Recruit actually turned out to be Cassandra Jones, Casey Jones. So a bunch of people got mad at that just because like, oh, you gender swap Casey Jones. Like, so I guess I don't know if they had this planned right away, so I'm not going to like talk for them, but it's like, okay, they have Casey with the hockey mask showing, so that's cool. And then people who say that Casey Jones was actually Karai, no, Karai was different. Karai was actually the grandmother of Splinter, and she possessed them in the fight. It's completely different. I'll go on a whole tangent if that like, literally,
my man, it's almost like my man did a TMNT video or something.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. So it's just like I gotta like stop with that. But like overall, this film looks spectacular. The comedy looks great. The action looks hype. It has led up to us. Like there's characters from the show that they're bringing back and doing certain things with that I'm liking. And so like all of this being post, because they hinted at what was going on with this in the last few episodes of Rise of the TMNT when Shredder first showed up. So I'm like, oh shit. The fact that they got Krang doing all this stuff now is just absolutely mind-blowing. So I'm super hyped for it. Mega excited. I hope it's going to be great. And yeah, I'm definitely excited. But like for people out there, it's okay to have different iterations. It's okay, and just enjoy what they got. So like, I mean, you're getting a freaking movie from Seth Rogen later, so it's probably going to be another new thing to
yeah. There's like TMNT is like, it's a franchise. There's always going to be more iterations of it. Like some of them you might not like, some of them you will.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean,
Yeah, exactly.
isn't that the thing with like any and all remakes, that there's always going to be that backlash where people think that this new iteration is going to replace the old version of it? I mean, we've been seeing it time and time again. And I mean, just recently we went through it with people getting so mad with Lightyear because some people are thinking that Pixar and Disney are trying to replace Buzz Lightyear of Star Command.
Right. No, exactly. No, there are people like that. Like, you want to know something funny? People were like this way back in the day with TMNT 2003. Well, 80s fans were like that. People who were fans of the cartoon.
Did you know people hated the Teen Titans back when it first released? There were like forum posts where people were like, "This isn't the Teen Titans. This isn't like the comics." Like,
right. Exactly. It's just like it's not. It's just like there are people like that because like there are people mad. I think I've seen like each of these firsthand where it's just like a bunch of old like a bunch of people who love the 80s show. They were just like, oh, this show is too emo. It's too like freaking serious. Why are they doing the Turtles like this? And it's just, did you not read the original comic books? Like, what the fuck? And then like with TMNT 2012, a lot of people, I'll say I wasn't excited for the fact that it was CGI, but a lot of people were like, oh my god, it's CGI. This is going to be trash. This looks like fucking garbage. Shit like that. And low-key beat one of the best shows out there.
Yeah.
And then the same thing like Rise.
Same thing happened with My Little Pony. Though, we still got to wait for the show to come out for that.
Hopefully it's good.
We have the special. Like, the movie was really, really good, but I'm just, yeah.
Even I enjoyed the movie. That was actually pretty fun.
Right. No, it's true. And then, like, for Toonjay in the chat, because I know he said that Thundercats Roar didn't replace Thundercats 2011. There was an 8-year gap. No. So here's the thing with that. All right. If a show ends where it very much leaves room to be open for another season, so like Spectacular Spider-Man, right? Like, that show was canceled, and then it was replaced with Ultimate Drake Bell years later. That was like 4 or 5 years later, right? What happens is if that show didn't get a decent conclusion, and then you come along with like, well, that show didn't get a decent conclusion, but here you go with this, a lot of people will be upset by that. So that is a very common thing that happens all the time. It's just like, if you have a show that the ending was either a cliffhanger or it felt like you had more story to tell, but it was canceled, and then like you replace it with a version that can be deemed inferior to that previous version, then that's when a lot of people start having issues. It's not like with like, it's different than what I was mentioning with the TMNT stuff, where it was like those shows had a beginning, middle, and end and ran their course, and then this is just a new thing in that. So yeah.
Right. So this is going to be like ending Rise, basically, since
basically the ending of Rise, unless they decide, unless it does really well, and they're like, oh, let's go make another season.
Because like it only had 2 seasons, so
it only had 2 seasons, and they were like, they were different than the last series because they were in those Nicktoonish format of like 11 episode segments, like 11-minute They were like 11-minute segments, and then later on they grew to be like full on episodes. So yeah.
Okay. All right. Next trailer, Clerks 3.
The metaverse. So meta.
It's the new thing to do, to be all meta.
Be all meta.
So when did Clerks 2 come out?
A long time ago.
Was it like during the 90s or the early 2000s?
I think it was 2000s. The second one was 2000s.
So
I think it came out after Silent Bob.
I think the gap between Clerks 3 and Clerks 2 is larger than the gap between Clerks 2 and the first Clerks.
I'm gonna look this up.
Yeah, 2006.
Shit, damn.
And the
2006, damn.
And the first Clerks was 1994.
Oh wow!
Oh, wow!
Jeez.
Dang, Clerks fans had to wait longer than Kingdom Hearts fans.
Oof.
Wow. So yeah, I don't really have much to say about this other than like it's another Kevin Smith, and other than like when I look at this image, I'm like, wow, they're old. Like, because like that's why I was asking like when was Clerks 2? Because I don't remember them looking that old in the last movie.
They seem to look fine in the animated show. Why are they old now?
Yeah. Where are their thick outlines? Like, but yeah, that'll be coming out. It kind of feels weird that like there are sequels to Clerks, because like the first Clerks was like, you know, this like big independent independent movie. So I mean, I guess it's still independent, but like we'll see.
Right.
Yeah.
Moving on. Luck.
I'm surprised by this. I'm like pretty interested in this movie. I can't tell you why. I don't know. It looks interesting.
I'm like very mixed with it because on one hand, I love the concept. Like it has a great idea that I understand why they want to make a movie out of it. And also the animation is very solid. This is a great looking animated
It looks
feature.
very nice. Yeah.
It's got a lot of former like Pixar people, right?
Yeah, they did. And there's a lot of like different you know, like even the way they presented this whole world of like the Luck Industries, it looks very solid. So I love the animation, I love the concept of it, but that story, oh my god, that is garbage. Like, I'm sorry, that story really sucks because like they're really going in one of the most cliched plot lines that you could use in a cartoon, period. Like, this is the same story that we've gotten before with Fern Gully. It's the same story we've gotten with Monsters Inc. And it's the same story that we got with Hotel Transylvania. And I can tell you right now, when the girl like had to be dressed up like the leprechaun to disguise herself so that no one would notice she's a human, like that's when I pretty much gave up and rolled my eyes, because it's like, oh god, like they're really leaning hard on that, hey, it's the human in the supernatural world. So that's why I feel extremely mixed, because I could see a lot of the great work that's put in it, and I love the concept that they are going into with this movie, but it just feels like another bland animated kids flick where they're just gonna go and like you use that same old recycled plot line again, and it's just like, yeah, it'll probably be interesting at first, but in the long run, like there's just gonna be no value to it.
Right.
Yeah, that's interesting. I didn't even think about like comparing it to Monsters Inc. and what was the other one? Not Fern Gully.
Hotel Transylvania.
Hotel Transylvania.
Yeah.
So it's like, it is true that it's like the human in like the supernatural world. But yeah, I was focusing more on like just like the plot of, you know, her being unlucky and her going, you know, to the luck world or whatever. Like her just, yeah, like I guess it does have very similar elements. Yeah, it's just the animation is what looked super interesting to me. I was like, I want to watch that because it looks pretty.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm glad I got that 6-month free trial to Apple TV Plus. Because like once I learned, I was like, oh, I got a 6-month free trial of this, because like I got Apple TV Plus because of Prehistoric Planet. And I'm like, oh, good, I can watch Luck now.
Right.
It comes out in a couple months.
Is that the thought process you had?
Well, I mean, if it's right there, then I might.
Yeah, it's right there. It's like, oh yeah, I can just watch that now. But yeah, it comes out next month. We'll see how it is when it comes out. It's definitely gonna have like quality animation to it at least.
Yeah, definitely.
But I don't have any reason for thinking this, but it just for some reason seems like that kind of movie that would just be like, huh, I surprisingly had more to it than I thought it was going to.
Right.
It just has that feel for some reason for me, but I have no reason to really believe that. This will see. Actually,
I mean, it technically is from a new studio, so it's hard to expect. It's hard to have any form of expectations to determine if it's going to work out or not.
Right.
All
right. Next thing, Bayonetta 3 dropped a release date and a new trailer.
Extra thick.
I'm excited for the video game. I have kind of given up on playing on my Switch, but I will pick up the Switch again for this game. because it looks real good.
Yeah, I got both games prepared, and I'm interested to see what number 3 is. And I may be opening up a can of worms about this, but does anybody have any thoughts about naive angel mode?
Naive angel mode. Yeah.
Well, I need to look that up.
Oh, yeah. You don't know. Oh boy.
So naive angel mode has it to where like when Bayonetta does her transformations and stuff, she stays clothed, because like usually when she does her transformations, usually when she does her transformations, like her hair comes off her body, because like her outfit's made of her hair.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. So when she does her transformations and stuff, like her like all of her hair comes off of her body, and then she like transforms it into like these different monsters and creatures and stuff. The thing is, like, Bayonetta's never had on full on nudity. It's always like very suggestive.
From seemingly what I understand, the artist, that's what the artist wants.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
But the thing with like naive angel mode, that's mainly if you're playing in front of your family. Like, yeah.
Would you play this in front of your family?
I mean, honestly, in that right, that's actually kind of nice.
Yeah.
It's like I would like to be able to play Bayonetta anywhere I go.
Yeah.
What do you
from that standpoint, that's actually kind of nice.
But I noticed that like people were pointing out, I was like, oh yeah, there's some like a lot of Devil May Cry references in here, which like previous Bayonettas have had DMC references.
Basically just girl Virgil, legitimately.
Nice.
Let's call it girl.
Something I was very surprised by is that they're putting out a physical version of the first game on the Switch. Because before it was only a digital code when you bought the second game. So they're putting out a physical version of the first game, and they're putting it out at $30. So I was like, oh,
nice,
interesting.
Okay.
So I can have that as a physical part of my collection now. Because I originally played the first Bayonetta back on the 360, when it came out then. I still haven't finished the second game. I need to. I'm probably gonna like play through all three in October when this comes out.
That's a lot of I know you can play games longer than I can play games.
Well, the thing is, like, Bayonetta they aren't very long games either.
They're pretty long. Like, for what they are, I think they're pretty long.
As far as, like, an action game like that, it's long for an action game.
Shut up, Jackson.
Yeah,
for an action game, it is long.
It's long for an action game, but it's like, as far as, like, games overall, it's not that long.
In games overall, you have games like Persona 5, so it's definitely not long. Like, I love Persona 5, but goddamn, that game is
like
long,
I can like, you know, play one Bayonetta game a week, like leading up to the release of the third game. So yeah, and it's got a release date October 28th, so that'll be fun.
I wish I could be like you and play like the game type that I'm about to play soon. Play like all the games that lead up to it.
Oh yeah, that's what I did with Kingdom Hearts. That's what I did with Ratchet and Clank. I played like everything of the franchise.
I have no idea how that is possible, but you do you.
You do you, bro.
Whatever will make you the happy person.
And I've also played Metroid Dread like 17 times. All right. Next thing, it's funny, I should have put this like after Clerks 3 because I was talking like independent movies. The Munsters by Rob Zombie. This looks awful.
Is this supposed to look? I have a question. Is this supposed to look awful? Because I know the Munsters came out back in the day.
Yeah,
when it was, I remember watching a couple episodes.
It's not just like oh, this looks like an awful movie. It's like, no, this looks like it was shot in a really bad camera. Like,
no, that's what I'm saying. Like, is it supposed to look like so bad? Like everything's supposed to look fake?
No, it's not supposed to look like a home video. Like,
well, no, because like you know how the Munsters. Did you ever watch the Munsters when you were a kid?
Like on Nick at Night, yeah.
Yeah, because I remember on Nick at, like, was it Nick at Night? I remember watching it as a kid.
It was either Nick at Night or something else. Like, yeah.
Yeah, it was something else. But I remember like watching it as a kid, and I was just like, everything is in black and white, and it just like looks like. I mean, it looks fine, whatever what it was.
Yeah.
And so like,
when I was looking at this, I was like, Boy said it in the chat. It's like it looks like it's fake.
Yeah, I know. It looks like it's
like
fan
a fake
film.
trailer. Like if you haven't seen this trailer yet, look it up on YouTube. Like The Munsters by Rob Zombie. Look at how it moves. You're like, why does it look like that?
No, exactly. Like I'm wondering, like, if it's one of those. I have no idea. So I don't want to be that guy who's like, yeah, this is so stupid, and then like it's like, yeah, well, it's intended to be, and it's just like, but whatever. This is still weird. I don't get it. So I mean, yeah.
Somehow the way.
Yeah, and not to mention like when I saw it, like one thing that was going around my mind is just, this is Rob Zombie, right?
Yeah.
Like usually with his movies, like they can be like pretty dark and
very horrific.
Yeah, but in this, it's like I understand like taking a different direction and trying to experiment with new things, but in here, it's like, are you sure you know what you're doing?
Mm-hmm. Right. No, it's very, very interesting that Rob Zombie, of all people, like, apparently he really liked this show, and he was like, oh no, I'm not going to do anything, because like I so thought it was going to be an actual horror movie, because it was just like, oh, Rob Zombie's doing this, and then the fact that we have that freaking Banana Splits movie that came out like a couple years ago, and they're doing a Winnie the Pooh horror movie coming out later this year, and then there's that fucking Barney horror movie that's coming out later this year. It's just like they keep taking all these innocent childhood things and making them do evil things. So I'm just like, I thought you were going to do that, but apparently not. So, I mean, I don't know the budget. I don't know if this is intentional or something like that. Or
I can't find a source for the budget.
Yeah. I have no idea. I'm just like, yeah. It's made by Universal straight to DVD division. You can tell it's his wife is in everything too, Ryan. Like Sherry Moo Zombie, she is like literally in all of his movies that he does and stuff like that. So it's like all the time. So interesting. She was even in that fucking El Super Beasto, the fucking animated short that he did back in the day. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's okay to jerk off the cartoons. The Japanese do it every day. I remember that fucking song. Rub one out for the USA.
Yeah. Anyway, let's move on. Next thing, Lord of the Rings: Rings of Power. The full trailer for that came out. The Amazon series.
A lot of dislikes.
I was very confused.
Yeah.
Because I don't know anything about like past lore of Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, I thought this was going to be the Silmarillion, but apparently it's not. From what Sarah told me.
It's like taking place like thousands of years before the events of Lord of the Rings.
Right.
But is this based on any like written...
I don't know.
Maybe that's why it has so many dislikes. Is they're making up a story, and it's like you think you can compete with J.R.R. Tolkien's like writing ability, really?
Right.
You know, there's going to be a Lord of the Rings anime too.
An anime?
Yeah.
The anime movie. I think that's going to be coming out on the big screen even.
Oh shit! I have no idea about that. Oh, that'll be interesting.
Yeah, I personally don't. If anyone in the chat wants to say why, if you know, but I personally don't know why it has so many dislikes. I'm personally not interested really in it. I don't know. It's just like, you know, it's written by such a prolific author. Well, you know, Lord of the Rings anyway, and I feel like that's why a lot of people like it, because the writing's so solid. So like having other writers try to write it, though it may be good, it's just like it's hard to have the same level of hope that it's going to be good.
I know that like Amazon wanted it because like they want their Game of Thrones, you know, before Game of Thrones shit itself.
Right.
So that's why like this was like in development for a while. It was because of Game of Thrones. They're like, we gotta have our own Game of Thrones. It was like, oh, we got the Lord of the Rings license. Let's do that. Because like I think a lot of people were also thinking like, oh, are they going to do like a retelling of Lord of the Rings, but in a series? But no, this is like its own original story. So I don't know if that's why people are mad, because like I saw the trailer and I was like, I don't see why this is so bad though. Like I'm not like a huge Lord of the Rings fan, so I don't know.
Yeah, it could be one of those things where it's just like that character is not supposed to have that type of armor.
Not supposed to be here. Yeah. Like I was watching the trailer and I was like, while watching it, I was like, I can't really tell you what this is about. I don't feel like I'm getting a lot of info.
No, because like the thing is, go ahead, Hero. Sorry.
Oh no, I'm done.
No, because I was going to say like the thing is like there's so much cool stuff from like the Silmarillion that would be hype as fuck for them to be doing a story on. But the fact that this is supposed to take place like I don't know when it's taking place. It's just like it's so much missed opportunities. Like freaking Sauron has a fucking like a boss called Melkor who makes him look like a complete bitch. So it's just like, oh, we could have seen that. Like you could have had like fucking Melkor show up and like make Sauron look like a bitch and shit like that, and just like okay. And then like we were supposed to see Shelob's mom, the Ungoliant, which is like this giant kaiju spider, like the size of Godzilla that just eats everything in its wake. And it's just like seeing stuff like that is hype. That will be hype and getting people's attention. But the fact that it's just like, oh, it's a story from Lord of the Rings universe in this time and this way, it's just like I'm not really that interested. It's just I'm not. I don't care. Hopefully it's good.
Yeah, well, we'll see when it comes out. I think at a couple. Wait,
that already becomes the next Hobbit.
Yeah. Oh, oof.
Yeah, comes out September 2nd. All right. Next thing, Beavis and Butthead. Its a new series comes out on August 4th. I haven't watched the new movie that came out recently, but I haven't either. I heard it was
honestly.
pretty. I heard it was pretty good.
It's pretty good. Okay.
And from this trailer is like, it seems like it would be pretty fun. I think Mike Judge is like actually involved. So.
Oh yeah, if he's involved, then it should be like he knows his characters. So yeah.
But yeah, that comes out August 4th. I guess it looks better than the previous time they brought them back.
Right. So my fortune. Hey, Butthead, what's a fortune? I think it's one of those couches that turns into a bed. I love that joke.
All right. Next thing. So the creator of Yu-Gi-Oh, Kazuki Takahashi, he died at 60. Which is very unfortunate. The way he died was very unfortunate. They found him up, washed up on shore with snorkeling equipment on, and apparently he drowned.
Ooh, that's horrible.
Well, it's not necessarily that. From what I've read, apparently it was actually a reef shark attack. That he was snorkeling and got too close to a reef shark, and it pretty much attacked his stomach and his lower end. And that's why he from there he got so injured to the point where he ultimately drowned, and that's how he died. At least that's from the reports that I've heard.
Okay, because I was looking it up today, and I just saw that like he drowned. I didn't see anything about like injuries.
So wait, like how big are reef sharks? Like Paley, you would know. Like are they big?
If there's a group of them, like then yeah, you would.
That sucks.
But the thing is, like, one thing I would advise to people: do not go swimming alone.
Ever.
Yeah.
No, I mean, like, seriously,
like that's what I thought happened was like that either like he had a stroke or a heart attack like while he was snorkeling, and that's why he drowned.
Oh damn, yeah, like yeah, there's so much bullshit in the ocean that's just like that. It's really sad too, because like this has been happening. Not I wouldn't say a lot recently, but I've seen it happen like a few times frequently. Like a lot of like Japanese influencers who just like had such an impact on people have been like passing away like this. Like for instance, a few years back, the Seiyu for Bulma in the original Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z and some of Super, she had a heart attack in her car, and so like she passed away sadly like a few years back. And then there was of course the Berserk thing that happened I think either last year or the year before, and like that whole sad thing is like when you look at his age is like, oh, that's really sad that it went that fast. And so it's sad that this guy, like these people, they have such influences on people over here. And, I wanted them to have like a longer life and stuff like that because they wanted stuff like that. And so it's a damn shame. That's all I can say. It's like, it really is just a sad, tragic shame because he like did such a cool thing with like they were just, so when you think of like how much impact like Yu-Gi-Oh had on like America, like
Yu-Gi-Oh,
just in
like
school.
Yeah. as far as like card game stuff is like, they had so many like other like card games that were influenced by it.
Right. No, exactly. Like, it's just, yeah, he did such a cool thing. Like, it's just like, you know, we had the Pokemon boom, the Digimon boom, the Yu-Gi-Oh boom, and like just being part of that like thing during childhood, and then just like he touched a lot of people's hearts with his product. So like, I'm glad he was able to.
Yeah,
you know,
I really wish I still had like all my Yu-Gi-Oh cards, but I foolishly gave them away like as a teenager.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, and yeah, exactly. So rest in peace to him.
Yeah, there used to be a major part of my childhood where, or like even in my teen years, when like one of my big obsessions was Yu-Gi-Oh, whether it be the original anime with Yu-Gi, or like the card games especially. There were like for several years I used to play it so much. So hearing how like the guy who pretty much created all that is no longer with us, like it kind of like it kind of made it one of the most painful deaths for me personally, like right up there with Gilbert Gottfried.
Oh yeah, sad too. Really sad.
So yeah, may the man rest in peace.
Absolutely.
Yeah, may he rest in peace. He definitely deserves it.
Yeah.
Oh.
All right, a few more things, and we'll go to Q&A. Close Enough was canceled.
You know what? I want to say this about Close Enough. I'm sad it's canceled, but I'm glad it had a happy ending.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, I'm sad because like the last episode, I rewatched the last episode, and I'm like, yeah, you know what? I'm glad it didn't have like a thing where it's like, oh, this, because like throughout the entire series, I was wondering, are these two gonna? And I was like, oh, you did it.
Yeah.
And then I was just like, there we
go.
right. And it's just yeah, because it was like, are they gonna? And it was like, they did. So I'm glad that wasn't a thing that was just like left open ended. And throughout the series, like I'm glad they also had the meta episode too, where it's just like, oh yeah, so like
that was great.
Oh yeah, that one.
Yeah, there's so much great stuff in Close Enough season 3. So like, while I am sad, like if I look at it overall, like I just say like, oh, I'm glad I can rewatch it anytime now. It has a bunch of great stuff. Do I wish more was going on? Yes, I do. But I'm happy that it had a good ending. Like I'm happy that like it like was satisfying at least with that.
Yeah, in a way, it's kind of like a bittersweet thing because on one hand, yeah, it really does suck that the show is canceled. But then again, at least it did end off on a high note that, like, you know, it had 3 very solid series. At least it's like it didn't burn out at the end, or it didn't like it didn't drag on to the point where like you would say, oh, there was one time when it was good. No, like the whole series throughout, you could just take the whole bundle and just enjoy it continuously. So, like you said, at least there is a happy ending, whether it be what happened to the characters in the show or just for the series itself. Like, it sucks that it happened, but at least you could say that it had a real good run.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think that's so much better than like, you know, getting the SpongeBob effect or something like that. Because like it's crazy too. Because like regular show went on for a long time, and that was like pretty damn good for like majority. I would say like nearly all of it. I would say it was like really damn good. Like regular show is just a really damn good show. So it's just like if it could have gotten that, I would have been cool. But the fact that we have short, easy, digestible, easily rewatchable, fun series, like you said, man, I was just like, yeah, I'm happy.
Yeah,
I'm saddened,
I think the main thing I'm gonna miss about this show is that like, since like regular show was like a show about like being in your 20s, this was the Close Enough was a show about being in your 30s, and it's like,
don't worry, he'll do one for when we're in their 40s. Yeah, there you go.
But for this is like, it it just feels like they could have explored a bit more in that aspect. Right. But I still like really love the 3 seasons that we got.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right. Next thing, Multiversus, that Warner Brothers like crossover fighting game thing. Its beta is it's open beta.
Wow, so it's not alpha?
Yeah, it's well, they already went past the alpha.
Okay, yeah.
It's open beta. Open beta comes out July 26th. I did have a code for the alpha. DJ Skywalker from the chat gave me a code, and I downloaded it on Steam, but then I couldn't play it because it was like, oh yeah, you're too late. Like, what? So I still haven't played it yet. So I'll have to check it out when it comes out next week, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, it actually is full on next week.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm excited to try that out. And then last thing here is probably our biggest topic besides the reviews is
yes.
Yeah, Craig McCracken is coming back to do a reboot of Powerpuff Girls and Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. First, I'm going to talk about Foster's. With the Foster's reboot, it's very interesting what they're doing that, because with this reboot, it's going to be a preschool show, which
tracks.
Yeah, with like all of the cartoons, that makes the most sense for Foster's.
Yeah,
like
well, it does because
for any of the cartoons.
Exactly, little kids just imagining characters, stuff like that. So yeah, that seems on point on draft. So it's just like, yeah, there you go.
Yeah, and apparently it's going to be with a lot of new characters. With this Foster's
Well, that makes
Home.
sense.
Yeah, though they're going to have like some like familiar faces will show up as well.
Yeah, like you would need Coco or Wilt or Eduardo.
Or Blue if he's gonna be a dick, like just like.
Oh my gosh! Could you imagine Blue's in that show and he's still like a dick?
Oh yeah, it's just like, don't be like him. No, because the fact that it's like a fucking preschool show is gonna make me laugh. It's just like, hola, soy Dora. Can you say azul? What the fuck is this bitch talking about?
Dora's for adults now. You saw the movie, right?
Yeah, no, the movie for Dora is like fucking great, like with a knife and stuff. Like
oh
Dora.
my god, yes.
Oh god.
But with Powerpuff Girls, they said, oh yeah, they're going to be returning to the original show, and facing like familiar foes and also some new faces as far as like villains go.
Yeah, fucking Craig McCracken straight up pulled a Thanos. Is like, fine, I'll do it myself.
Yeah, because
Yeah, it sounds like I wouldn't really say that it's a reboot. From the sounds of it, it's like kind of an extension, like a new season of that old Powerpuff Girls.
Yeah, they need to stop saying like reboot for that, because they did that with like in Animaniacs too. They're like, it's a it's like, no, it's not. It's a continuation. Like there's a difference between a continuation, a remake, and a reboot. They're differences. Like it's differences.
Yeah. So I'm much more like confident in that, because like Craig seems confident. Because when he was replying,
y'all can't do it.
Yeah, he was replying to people when he posted the news, and people were saying like, how is this going to be different from the 2016 reboot? It says I'm involved, and then like he's like, and then he was replied to another one where it's like, let me bring it up here because I posted it. Yeah, here it is. It says, please don't let people reboot your shows. My PPG, they massacred them or whatever. And he said, I'm rebooting them, so this is actually my PPG. So, yeah, it seems like Craig McCracken is like very confident that he can do this right.
Yeah.
I mean, he did it right for a long time. So.
Like, even... The thing is, like, I don't know, like, how everyone else feels about this. I know me and Paleo like him, but, like, even when Powerpuff Girls supposedly went downhill in those last seasons, I still enjoyed them more than the Dexter's Lab fall down and, like, all those other shows that, like, were, like, OGs,
and, like,
but then, like, went
Craig's,
down their later
like,
seasons.
recent works with Kid Cosmic and Wander Over Yonder, those were, like, great shows. There were just like certain aspects to them that didn't like quite click with everybody. Where with
exactly. I hate Wander's voice.
Wander.
I hate Wander's voice. No offense to the actor, I just the guy.
But like Craig returning to Townsville with all those characters is like, yeah, I want to see him like do stuff with them again.
I think the only sad thing is like Tom Kane, the voice actor, like since he had his like health issue, like that he sadly is retired from acting. So he will be missed. He will be greatly missed. But like I hope they get all the OG voices back too.
Somebody asked on Twitter to Craig directly. They're like, "So does that mean we'll be getting the original voice actors back?" To which he did not respond. So we'll see.
I did see Tara respond to it, like with.
Oh, did she respond to it?
Yeah, She responded with 3 different colored hearts of like blue, red, and green.
Okay.
So,
right.
That must have been after I looked at it. Then yeah.
Yeah. There we go. Yeah, she's like, yeah, okay.
Okay, so she did respond then. Cool.
Wait. Yeah, she responded to the thing. So hopefully that means she's going to be a part of it. So because but she didn't confirm or deny. She just replied to Craig with 3 hearts. So yeah.
The only thing I hope about this reboot is that I hope it's funny.
Yeah, exactly. Powerpuff Girls is
Powerpuff Girls 2016
knows how to write those girls.
Its biggest flaw is that it wasn't funny.
Which one? 2016?
Yeah.
That was the point. It was supposed to be funny, and they failed horrifically.
Less twerking, more funny.
Yeah.
And also I want to comment that I feel like right now, we're entering in this new chapter with Cartoon Network, and it feels very interesting because, it feels like now they're kind of bringing back their old maestros to be working for them
Gendy's
once
coming back
again.
too.
Yeah, he's got Unicorn coming on, I think later this year, and now they got Craig McCracken again.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Is Gendy? I mean, I think he's busy. He's not going to be working on Powerpuff Girls at all, is he?
No.
He might help out a little, but he's working on Primal.
He's got his other thing going on.
He's got Primal. He's got Unicorn.
Apparently
he's got his R-rated comedy still going on.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Apparently, from what Warner Brothers and Warner Media said, is oh yeah, you can use any of our properties, make something. So it's oh, Gendy could make anything.
He doesn't have to make Hotel.
Yo, get him into the freaking DC world. He would do something phenomenal.
Oh yeah,
he would. You see what he did with freaking Clone Wars back in 2003. So
yeah.
God, yeah, he would crush anything. I trust Gendy more. I think who are the top 3 animators back in the day? It was Craig, Gendy. Who was the other one?
Do you want to say it? Do you want me to say his name?
Once you laughed, it clicked in my head. I realized. Okay,
yeah.
Never mind. We don't talk about
who
one.
I was thinking.
We don't talk about that one.
But yeah, I was going to say Rob Rossetti's really great. Yeah.
Oh,
we don't talk about
one. Right.
The forbidden one.
Yeah, forbidden one.
We don't talk about that. We don't talk about those ones. I understand now. Yeah.
I just want Lauren Faust to have her movie. She's had so many movies denied.
Lauren Faust. Could you imagine if G5 went downhill, but they brought back Lauren for G6?
Oh my god!
And it was literally she decided to make G6 what she would have done with G4. If she could just stay in charge of the entire series. Could you imagine that now?
Hasbro is way too controlling for her to do.
I know, right? That would be insane.
Lauren's I fought this battle before.
I fought this battle once before. Never again.
All right, let's go to Q&A. So got some super chats here. So this one was actually from before, and they asked it again from Furious. Asking Jaxblade, I asked a question last time, but it was too late in the stream. The stream ended. Would you do would that work out on Keijo? I just want to hear you talk about Keijo.
Yes, I would. I would love to do it. Would that work out on Keijo? I just need to ask some of my female friends who like getting in swimsuits to help me with that video. That's all. I literally. I have no problem. I love Keijo so much. I just need to find ask some of them and just hey, do this with me, because it's just there's so much exploration with that video that I think would be super fun to do.
And then Deli18 asked before, this is before the I had internet trouble, saying, what's a video game glitch, bug, or exploit that you remember it being amusing that has been since been patched in an update? Non-video games okay too.
Wait, what would a non-video game be?
Like a mistake in a movie or something? I don't know.
Oh,
because you said glitch, I was like, a movie glitch? Okay.
Oh, you mean when Donatello was in the 1990 movie. He does a big laugh, and you can see a person's mouth inside his mouth.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's like,
I'm sure there are so many, and I'm just blanking on all of them. Video game glitches.
Well, I mean, I don't know if this would count as a glitch, but there was a recent one that I loved exploiting. It was in Pokemon Legends, where there was a bit of a glitch where before you enter into an area, you could just save it, and like you could keep entering into that area when there's like a mass outbreak. Until you can actually find a shiny. Yeah, they updated it where they did update that.
Good thing I did that before they updated it. I was trying to get a shiny female timid Eevee. Do you know how hard that is?
Oh yeah!
Wow!
So I did finally get it. Yeah, good thing I did that beforehand. It still took like 8 hours with that glitch. Yeah. That stinks that they passed that. Okay, that's my answer too then. That's a good glitch.
Brandon King asking, finally, or saying, finally, a Powerpuff Girls reboot that isn't awful and creepy. By the way, that CW live action show is still happening?
Of course it is.
Yeah, apparently they say they're... I heard a lot of stuff. It's either it's still happening or it's like in limbo or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, they still want to do it, but it's like, is it worth it though?
Yeah,
is it worth the energy?
I saw some like some headlines of like stuff happening in Riverdale, and people like quote tweeting it and saying like, is this what it's like to not know?
Oh
about
no,
Kingdom
Super
Hearts?
Eye Patch Wolf like covers all the stuff with like a cult of ghosts that like drink period blood, and then a guy who's a billionaire trying to escape in a rocket, and it's like, wasn't this just a fucking show about teenagers? Like, what the fuck is what?
It's based on Archie comics. Like,
and they play it completely serious too, so that makes it funnier. So I guess that's nuts.
It's like you can have a compilation of all of, like the really dark scenes or the murders, and you just hear in the background sugar do 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 do.
Furious also asking, have you seen the Chucky TV series? Jax, I know you have.
Yes, I have. I thought it was actually really funny. They went really well with, they mentioned every single movie and everything happens. It's really good in that regard. Chucky is hilarious as always, and I'm very interested what they're going to do with season 2. So I actually had a fun time with it.
Cool. Again, Prince asking, can any of you speak in rhyme for at least 3 to 5 sentences? And if you can you answer it in that format?
If you can, I have a plan. If I do, you will be banned. Because I am not named Anne. She likes frogs, not the sand. Because I mean, that's what Katie said when rhyme is just like you go in your head like Anne, ban, can, Dan, and so like that. And so like I just started doing that.
I'm gonna say a few sentences in a row. I don't know if I can do it though. Doing it because I was asked by a hoe. Sorry for calling you that, bro. There was a bird in Dumbo named Jim Crow. I could not answer your question. I'm sorry.
Oh God.
I was like, what rhymes with bro? Good. Oh my God.
Go ABCD as fast as you can in your head.
I was trying so hard to answer his question, and I was like, I can't do it. I tried.
Well, I'll just say, what is the question that you want to mention? Because I'd have to think before even taking a drink. So from there, we can go everywhere with this questionnaire.
Ooh!
And from there...
Where's my bongo?
The answer could be all up in the air.
Oh! There you go.
Snap. You start snapping.
Groovy, man, groovy.
From Deli18, asking, hey Animat, since you're here, what do you want to roast about Saber Spark since Saber is not here for tonight?
Me roast? Oh boy, do I have the honors?
Do it.
Go ahead. We roast Saber all the time.
Oh dang.
even when he's here. So like.
I mean, to be fair, like I could think of so many things of what to roast him, but then again, like he already did a good amount of roasting from watching all that all that Alpha and Omega stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know. I'm like, I'm not in a position of like roasting people that like I haven't talked to a lot. So yeah, I don't know. If I could think of something, maybe, but for now. I mean, I guess I'll put that on pause.
Right.
I can't really think of anything. I can think of rhymes, but I can't think of like good roast for Saber.
Okay.
But then again, if I could think of a good roast, I'm sure someone will find a way to turn that into an NFT, and then he'll turn that into a video that he'll rant about.
Whoa! Dang.
There we go.
There we go.
All right, going to Twitter here. From Major Mikazawa, asking Kinsa, since Kazuki Takahashi passed away recently, what are some of your favorite Yu-Gi-Oh cards, moments in the anime, or even just memories that you have of Yu-Gi-Oh in general?
It's just like, Joey, I don't think you should be like cooking the candy bars. And it's just like,
shut up! I know what I'm doing.
Yeah, that shit cracks me up. Or like, there was oh my god, anything with Kaiba. Just shit talking the Dweeb Patrol over here. What are you doing? And it's just like it's so funny. Like again, I love that the guy created, but it's just so hilarious that he's like, you're getting so heated over a card game. A children's card game. It's just like, bro, this is not that. Like, I get if it was like some Dragon Ball Z fight, but this is a card game.
Yeah, I remember a few years ago, me and a friend of mine, we went to the movies and we actually saw a re-release of Yu-Gi-Oh! The movie Pyramid of Light. And oh my god, revisiting it, like even as a Yu-Gi-Oh! Fan, it's hilarious how none of it makes sense. Like even just the general tone, like yeah, you got the typical general tone of like a matter of life and death with a card game and stuff like that, but it's just everything about it is so ridiculous with the way that like they over exaggerate the situations. Even at the end, like I still don't understand how they do it. It's just like, how are we going to defeat a real monster? And then Kaiba just picks up a card. How? With the real monster.
Sure.
and just summons a card just through the deck, and it's like, and even at the end, it was so hilarious where everybody was looking up. I was like, is he really gone? Yes, Anubis is dead. Let us never speak of this again. And the whole event, everything that happened was never mentioned in the anime again.
Oh, that's
just
so
like a true
funny.
anime movie.
True anime movie.
Yeah.
Done right.
Also another memory that I want to mention is that I used to be a very avid player of the card games, and I can tell you right now from my experience playing like even in like regionals, like actually playing in legitimate tournaments, the stereotypical things you've heard about them, they are absolutely freaking true. Like it is 99. It is 99.9% of men, and the odor of it. Oh my god! I think honestly, like yeah, these people, they can know how to summon 3 synchro. They know how to summon 3 synchro monsters. They know how to summon 4 Xyz monsters in one turn, but they don't know how to frickin' shower. It's one of the few places where they. It's one of the few places where they needed a mask mandate, not because of COVID, but because you need something to protect you from the smell.
Oh god.
That was how it was when I went to a Smash tourney. I was like, oh no, they're right. They were right. Oh no. Yeah. It smells really bad in here.
I was gonna bring up the games because like I had a few of the games. I had the Forbidden Memories on PS1, and like when I played that game, I was like, these rules aren't like the regular card game.
Oh god, yeah.
And then but then I had a Eternal Duelist Soul on the Game Boy or Game Boy Advance. That was fun, and the Dungeon Dice Monsters game on the Game Boy Advance as well, which is very fun.
Oh yeah, I actually do have the real Dungeon Dice games.
Oh,
Like
cool.
I actually have the real physical ones where like you have to like you buy like this whole set and it has like all these like cardboard like different like directions that you can go with the dice and like even the little figurines of the monsters. Like it was like a whole game in itself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Nice.
Let's see. Nathaniel Foga asking, "What's your guys' favorite convention panel you've been to or have been a part of?"
There was that Women of Animation panel at EQLA 2017, where the women in animation talked about what it's like to be a woman in animation. I was like genuinely so fucking invested in that panel. It was so interesting.
Oh, nice. Honestly, I generally like any like after dark panel we can do, just because I can just go full on like all in and just like completely unleash the beast, as it were. So it's just like I just think it's so funny.
Yeah. I do like a lot of the I guess they would be called like performance panels. Like like the Who's Line, or like recently what we did with the Cartoon Court and MomoCon.
Right.
That was very fun to do. Or like when we do our riffing panels, when Saber chooses some random weird ass movie and we riff on it. Those are always fun.
You know, admittedly, it's honestly very rare of me to be like to actually go to a panel or like be a guest at a convention. I mean, if there are any cons that want to invite me as a guest, I'd be more than happy to do it. That's why like it was only one time that I've ever been a guest, and that was like I think back in 2016 for Con Bravo, and there was one panel that I did that was actually really cool. Like it was a panel for like reviewers where me and a bunch of other critics and reviewers where we all talked about the stuff that we've done, and it was definitely a lot of fun. And I remember there was one fan who handed me a copy of Ratatouille on DVD, and he asked me to just break it. So like live on stage, I was just I was just like bending the whole DVD in half and just breaking it into pieces. So yeah, that was definitely a fun moment.
Nice.
That's awesome. Let's see. Ozzy asking, thoughts on Nintendo creating its own animation studio, and if so, which IPs would you like to be on the big screen? Yeah, so they bought this animation studio and they renamed it to Nintendo Pictures, basically. Which they have worked with Nintendo before on like promotional stuff and also the those Pikmin shorts a while back, and they've worked on.
And I think they also
anime.
I think they also did some cutscenes for Metroid Other M, from what I've read.
Yeah. So I'm not sure like what they're going to be doing, like if they are like literally just like going to be used for like promotional stuff or whatever, or if they're going to have like their own series or movies that they're going to try to do. We don't really know yet. That's the thing.
I can't really imagine that they would do like big name movies because they already got to deal with Illumination to go and do that. But honestly, if that would be the case, like for the second question of which properties, well, like we need Kirby, more Kirby.
Oh yeah.
I'd
love something for Metroid, like just something, anything.
Fire Emblem's not my favorite property or even close, but I think a Fire Emblem like TV show or
a Fire Emblem anime would actually make the most sense of all.
It would be so interesting to watch.
Yeah. With like how many characters there are in Fire Emblem, like,
and just the general tone of the franchise. I don't know.
Yeah. See, Adam Driver. Adam Driver for what?
Adam Driver.
Oh, this is Arthur Chiro. Okay, yeah.
Adam Driver.
Mixed up with Adam Driver.
Kylo Ren and Adam Driver.
Yeah, because like his name is Adam Driver for Shadow the Hedgehog right now. Yeah.
Okay.
Says that this question is for everyone. I'm curious if any of you guys on the POS crew got any anime recommendations, since I'm almost done watching Darling in the Franxx on Crunchyroll.
Spy
depends
Family.
on the kind of anime that you like.
Yeah, it depends on the kind of anime you like, because I really enjoy Spy Family. I've been rewatching just like the dub of it just to see what that's like.
There's 12 episodes of it out. It's halfway done. It'll continue in the fall.
Yeah, like a freaking whatchamacallit, Kaguya-sama. Well, like there's on Crunchyroll right now. They have this whole thing where it's like, oh, new to anime? Why don't you look through these? And then it'll show like, the base like, oh, Cowboy Bebop or Kaguya-sama, this, that. Like it gives you like standard stuff where it's like it's not too outlandish, but it gives you a good feel of anime. So yeah,
there's some outlandish stuff.
Yeah,
Monster
says Drawing the
Musume.
Franks was an impulse watch. Like if you do like Drawing the Franks, or if like you thought Drawing the Franks could be better, well, watch Gurren Lagann. Like
yeah, Gurren Lagann or Kill la Kill.
Yeah.
Recently, well, a few months ago, I saw Demon Slayer. That was good. Did you watch Demon Slayer?
Demon Slayer is pretty good, especially season 2's animation. Like they went ham.
And their movie was really good too. So that's totally
Mugen Train was surprisingly great.
It was beautiful.
Yeah,
and
it was like
it also made me really, really sad. But you can watch why to find out.
I still need to watch Demon Slayer. I stopped watching it because I watched like the first 2 episodes with Hero, and then I stopped. We stopped watching anime together.
Yeah, it started getting more busy.
Yeah, except for Made in Abyss, because like that's out now.
Yeah, so. I will fucking make the time, bro, to watch Made in Abyss.
Yeah.
But other things.
Arthur Churro says I have Gurren Lagann on my list, so I'll probably give that a shot. Gurren Lagann.
Yeah, you give it that a shot. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Is it Karai here? Says here's a hard one. Say one nice thing about the last Airbender live action movie. One from each of you.
No.
Yeah, no.
What if I refuse?
This is that challenge. Hold on, because like I've seen this going around where it's just like, because there was a video recently that was like, this movie is so universally despised, rightfully so, but like they were talking about objective criticism and subjective criticisms. Like it was like, this is the worst film ever made, and then how people say it's objective is like, actually it's subjective because blah blah blah. And so like they were trying to see like, what are nice things you can say about this. So actually this, I see what they're doing, so this is like a fun okay, hold on.
I can say a nice thing. It's
I will say one nice thing. One nice thing. I like Aang's tattoos.
There you go.
Okay.
There you go.
We are here winning. We can say a nice thing. Good job, team.
That is the one thing I liked it. I like Aang's tattoos. Boom.
The Water Tribe's war cry made me laugh.
All right.
Oh, you know what? Okay. The bending was funny.
It was funny.
Definitely funny.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, it was hilarious. That fucking 6 earthbenders to move 1 pebble.
Yeah.
That was hilarious. Brilliant. Paleo, you have to say yours. We all said ours.
Damn it! You've already said
just
so many.
You've already said all the nice things possible.
Yeah, you already said. Oh man, I was gonna say wasted my time, but it's like that's not a good thing.
Momo, Papa. Did they look okay? I don't remember what they looked.
It made me appreciate other bad movies more. There
you go. There you go.
All right. From Brandon King on Twitter, saying, "What do you all think of YouTube finally attempting to fix the content ID process?" So this is something recently. They changed the way that content ID works. Now instead of like when a company or individual like claims something on your video, they have and you like appeal it or whatever. They now have 7 days to respond rather than 30. Before it was like, oh yeah, you have to wait a whole month. But now it's like, oh no, now it's just 7 days, which is a lot better. But they're trying something.
Wait, since when?
Yeah, this was like today, I think.
Really?
When this was announced. Yeah. It was either today or yesterday, but I saw it on Twitter.
Wow. Okay. That's actually great news. Like, holy crap! I never thought I'd see the day that like I hear YouTube news that's actually beneficial for creators.
Right?
Like, dang, that's actually great. Like, I like the idea. Like, just reduce it to 7 days for them to respond. Like, make the process go quicker. I'm down for
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, good. Now fix that fucking algorithm so you can just upload whenever. That'd be
Right.
perfect.
Yeah,
Yeah.
really.
Go back to the 2010 to 12 algorithm. We like that one.
Yeah. All right, last question here on Twitter from Ryan says, asking here since I can't use super chats at the moment. Of all the CN shows creators, who else would you want to see return? Whether it's Danny Antonucci or John Dilworth or Maxwell Adams, among others.
Maxwell Adams, has he done anything recently?
I think like he's been on and off on stuff. Well, I think no. Well, wasn't he like? Didn't he work on like a direct-to-DVD Scooby-Doo movie or something?
Oh yeah, with the Courage crossover thing.
Oh
No,
yeah.
or I mean, probably. I think so. Like,
wait, who are the ones that we're not allowed to say? Like aside
Well,
from
Gendy and like Craig. You can't say
Craig,
Gendy.
I mean, no Lauren also.
oh, like
No.
okay, well,
No
I
Lauren.
mean he did work on like Teen Titans. Okay, he's still around technically. Like he did work on like Teen Titans Go and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Is Rebecca Sugar still around? I don't know. Is she still on Cartoon
What
Network?
has she done?
What
Yeah,
is she doing?
No, it's just like, where you been, girl? You create an icon, and now you're just
Hey, like
relaxing. I respect
IPs.
She
really-
was a
Yeah, like now she's like a speaker now. Like right now she's just talking. Like the last time I saw, there was this video from Asifa Hollywood that talks about pride representation in animation, and Rebecca Sugar was one of the people.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
So I mean, she's still around, but I don't know if she's making like cartoons and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
She's pretty much being like she's pretty much an LGBTQ plus representative of animation for now.
Mm-hmm.
I know that I was gonna say Adam Muto, but I know that I think he's working on the Fiona and Cake series. Because after Pendleton Ward left Adventure Time, Adam Muto took up the mantle for the
Torch,
right
for that. But I think I would like to see Adam Muto like make his own creation for Cartoon Network.
Like for me, like for nostalgic reasons, I would definitely say I would love to see the return of either Danny Antonucci or John Dilworth. Like bring back that classic style because they were definitely unique, and I would love to see more of like what they could do with like something that has the spirit of either Ed, Edd and Eddy or Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Yeah, actually, I'm going to say Lauren Faust because she hasn't had her own original cartoon because like it's either based on like because with My Little Pony is like it's based on the toy franchise, or with DC Superhero Girls
is based on
it was like let Lauren have her own thing like
but she's really good at like boosting fucking prior properties.
Yeah. You know the funny thing is I heard apparently like she had a show ready she had a show ready for Netflix, but you know Netflix be Netflix, and they decided to let her go.
I need people to leave this lady alone. Let this lady
just let her make her stuff.
Like, you created those fucking bronies. Get the fuck out of our office.
It's like she can barely catch a break.
All right, that was the last thing.
What? Okay, well, I mean, I know Lauren would do this, but like technically, like Lauren basically has like hundreds of thousands of people who would literally send her as much money as possible. She was like made like a fundraiser for like something like that. So I mean, like, is that like something she's ever considered of just like making like one of those donation things? Because she's actually competent and she would actually give you a product like worthwhile.
Right.
Like, has she ever thought about that? There's like. Or is that just no? She wants specifically a network to pick it up.
I don't know. I don't know her personally.
I mean, like we know so many of these fucking pony people personally, so I didn't know.
Anyway, that was the last question. So we'll see you next time. On the 1st. Yeah, the 1st of August.
August, shit.
Yeah, we'll be talking about the League of Super Pets.
I hate when August
comes out.
Yeah, I have to fucking watch that shit too. I don't want to watch that shit. I have to. Damn it. Fine.
And Animat, you can go find his channel on YouTube.
Go subscribe to him.
Yeah, you can find me on YouTube at Electric Dragon 505 or on my social media, Facebook. I'm just Matt Brunet, aka Animat, or Twitter, Instagram, Animat505, or even just find me as Animat on my Patreon.
Yes, thank you for coming on, and we'll see y'all next time. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
See you later, dudes.